Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're in the office. Why? Because today is the 12th. You can see I'm kind of sounding better. So a little congested. But we're in my office because like 30 minutes from now, we're gonna start this live sprint. It was really nice. Books with Bonnie invited me to do a live sprint. Let me see. Of course, I'm using my phone, so I can't look at the Instagram. My bad. There are 2 other people on it too. I'm sorry, I don't know their names right now, but I'll put the image up. I'm really excited. Yeah, so we're in my office. Again, we've got like, actually it's like 5:34, so 30 minutes until that starts. But I needed to do an intro for this new vlog, and I was going to talk about some of the stuff I'm going to be hopefully reading on this reading sprint. So I've got my tried and true stack of regular books, iPad and Kindle. Hopefully we can dabble more into Deadline. Okay, I'm taking my time reading this series, or rereading it if you will. So much time that I haven't picked it up in a while, so I would like to devote time to that. I would like to crack open and at least get a good like 5 volumes, 5 chapters done. The good ones are taken by Taj McCoy. Perfect for the Valentine's Day weekend. I've got quite a few books. Slap myself. I've got quite a few books on my Kindle from NetGalley that I need to read. The list is very long, so we don't need to go into that. And then, of course, I have the manga for the NetGalley app on here. There are some things I might want to read on Lezen. Granted, I can read it on my computer, which I already have Jinx up because I read Jinx this morning. We can talk about that later. Very good. Very, very, very good. Very happy. But some other things I've got some light novels, the ones I want to crack open, and that's getting to like the halfway point of 7th Time Loop, and then the Apothecary Diaries, both the second volume. I have I Can't Stand Being Your Childhood Friend, Volume 2. I have My Bias Is Showing, Volume 1. We're going to talk about this later because I stopped my reading vlog that I'm currently editing now. I stopped it kind of early because it was getting long. So I'm going to chop out some of the stuff. Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm not including it in the one that's going to be coming out first, but I'll be including what I said in this one. But we're going to read volume 3 and 4. I just happen to have the second volume in front of me of Spring Storm and Monster. I finished the second volume last night. This is definitely interesting. It's walking that line of like the taboo thing. So I'm really interested to see where this goes because it seems like these step siblings are going to date. And I don't know what we do with that. I really don't. I don't, but I'm reading it and we have to be along for the ride. I don't know. I randomly just pulled this because why not? Be My Worst Nightmare, volumes 1, 2, and 3. I don't know when the 4th volume comes out. I think it comes out in the early part of this year. It's in my wish list so I can track it, but of course I don't remember off the top of my head. Now, I do want to get into Tease Me Harder, Sweet and Kiki Romance, volume 2. So at the end of the last volume, the volume 1, we see that this, I think it's going to be this woman gets introduced because that doesn't look like her friend. She's kind of introduced, and she's not really introduced yet. It's just like the kind of showing us what volume 2 would be at the end of volume 1. But it feels like it's insinuated that she's going to maybe want Mahiro, which is the boyfriend. But I'm wondering if maybe she's going to either feel the same way as Yuka and like she likes to be submissive, or maybe she's like a femdom and she'll help him. That would be very cute. I would like that. But I do want her to make more friends that she feels comfortable with. I also have Let Me See the Real You Senpai volumes. Oh, I do want to get into her. I haven't even cracked her open yet. Y'all know I was very excited for her, so. And then that's where 3 and 4 were. So Spring Storm and Monster 3 and 4. Like I said, this is such an interesting one, and I'm excited because volume 5 comes out the day after my birthday. So happy birthday to me. Very excited. And then we're going to end this bad boy. I'm probably going to pick more stuff, but for the things that I want to read, they're here around me. Natsume Wants to Bloom by who else? Mamita. Okay, Mamita, my angel, my God, my savior. Yes, we love Mamita. This is a Mamita house. I love Mamita. I don't, not that I would ever hear it, because nobody would say it in front of me. But I better never hear any Mamita slander, because I will get physical. Okay, I will get physical. I will get activated, and yeah, no one's not good. You're not gonna like that. You're not gonna like Connie when she gets activated like that. We're talking about Mamita. But anyway, I'm excited. I think we'll probably be kind of getting on a little bit early, like to kind of chat, make sure everybody can get on it. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited. I think it said from 6 to 9. I'm rocking till 9. I don't know, when everybody feels like it, but I can rock till 9. I have the whole night cleared for this, and I'm very excited. I'm really, really thankful because, Bonnie was one of the first people who did a live stream with me, and I really, really appreciate it because I was very, very, very nervous. I know I talk about it all the time. When I did a recent live stream, I had to thank and shout out Bonnie for being one of the first people who invited me to do something like that. It was a great experience, and honestly, I just think Bonnie's so great. I really do. So yeah, check out Bonnie. Check out Bonnie, please. I might even do a little, y'all can see what's going on, but not too much, obviously. Hopefully, maybe even I might be able to get some editing done. We'll see. But I think I would like to really focus on reading, especially my regular books, because I really, really, really need to read those. I did say I want to focus on that. I also need to edit the February TBR video because, I've been sick for like a week now. The one I did film, I didn't like it, and I was sick when I filmed it, so I was very, very out of breath. Which I kind of am now, but it's okay. It's fine. Either way, we're going to have fun, and I'm looking forward to it. So, yay! We're all going to have so much fun. But I wanted to do an intro. I might even have to do like a talking outro for the vlog I'm editing, or I'm just going to end it with like a text screen. We'll see how I feel. But I'm pretty much halfway done. I woke up early this morning because I couldn't sleep. After I woke up the first time, I was like, why the fuck? I'm just going to have a coughing fit if I don't go back to sleep. So I think I started editing it at 6:30 in the morning, maybe like closer to 7, and I got a lot done. So that actually worked out really well. I'm glad I just stuck it out, kept going, because it was worth it. But let me stop yapping. Start getting the links up, get everything ready. And yeah, I'm excited, and I'll see you guys in a second. And hopefully I can talk about the stuff that I read and I did read,
A few moments later.
Surprise. I didn't pay attention to the time. And I forgot that Bonnie is Central Time and I'm Eastern Time. So I'm basically an hour early. Classic me. Classic me. So we actually do have time to talk before the reading sprint, so that's exciting. So actually I want to start off talking about Jinx before we talk about Spring, Storm, and Monster, because I think what I'm going to do now that I actually have some time is I'm not going to insert what was from the last time. I'll just talk about it since I've read a second volume. So Jinx was very good, and this is going to contain spoilers. So this was episode 91. This is everything, we're finally kind of like going to possibly have the conversation about what happened to Kim Dan. Okay, so we open with Jake Young. He's drinking. We don't like that. We don't want him to be drinking. We open with him drinking, and he is looking at his phone, and he's looking up all the articles about the doctor who assaulted Kim Dan. And luckily, that doctor really did lose his license. He's no longer working in the medical field because more than one person actually experienced harassment from him. So a whole investigation happened and he was put out of there. Thank goodness. Now, someone should have put him down if you ask me, but who am I? So he's stewing, obviously, and he's having all of these thoughts, and he feels very guilty still. And he's like, I can't believe that this happened to Kim Dan. And even though Jake Young didn't know what Kim Dan's past was, it was like, holy shit, I can't believe all this shit fucking happened. And it's like I added to his trauma. So again, we're having more Jake Young self-awareness, understanding like, hey, I was wrong. I can't believe I did this, you know, just feeling very guilty and apologetic. So he goes to Kim Dan. Kim Dan's asleep, but he wakes him up and he's like, I'm sorry. And they have, I mean, here's the thing. We don't see the whole thing. I do think that a conversation kind of happened, but we don't see it. We only see a little bit of it. But, you know, Jake Young is very honest and he's like, you are always saying you're fine, but are you really fine? Because what happened to you was really fucked up and it really sucks what I did. And I'm really sorry for what I put you through. And he's very sincere. He really, really, really feels awful about what happened. And Kim Dan assures him, he's like, look, you know, I understand, but I am okay. That was a long time ago. Yes, not everything was good about what happened between us, between him and Jake Young. But there were times where I did enjoy this. I did have fun. And then that does lead to them taking the clothes off, very soft, sensual. We're about to make love, basically. Okay. And I'm very excited for that. Now, I'm hoping that more conversation happened leading up to dick out of pants, but I assume that it actually will be it will either happen or it will happen after the love making, because it is love making. They're about to make love. Okay. And I'm excited. I am excited. Now, I've already seen the stuff on Twitter. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but Lord have mercy. Like, it's so surprising to me the way people are like, just because he feels guilty, Kim Dan, this is a fucking book, okay? This is a story. Okay, I'm sorry. This is how the story is written. I don't understand why people are, it's fine. It's fine. It's a little bit of judgment, but it's fine. But at the same time, it's like, I think we can have multiple conversations and we not have to like shit on Minghua. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of like the underlying thing I get from some people who are very critical. Now, if you don't like Jinx, if you had to drop Jinx when you saw certain things happening, I don't judge you for that. Do it. DNF anything that you don't want to read anymore. Anything that makes you uncomfortable, anything that's too triggering, or anything that's just too much, or anything you just don't like. It doesn't have to be anything even serious like that, but it is so interesting the way it seems like people are hate reading it. And I guess I just can't necessarily relate to that. Now, granted, I kind of continued to push through with Tears on a Withered Flower and I wasn't really happy, but I knew that I'm probably going to like it if I give it more time to come out and I can read it in one sitting. And I still feel that way. I'm starting to see new images from Tears on a Withered Flower. Stuff is popping off and that's really exciting. So I would like to get back into it, but I'm going to start it from the beginning because that's what I originally wanted. I don't know how much longer Tears on a Withered Flower is going to be, but still, it's just interesting. I always have to say that after talking about Jinx. It's just like the discourse online is so interesting with the way some people talk about it, because it does feel like people, like, you can just say you don't like it and then you also don't have to read it. It's just interesting the things that some people like go on a tangent about. And I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I did also catch up on Yes Ma'am. I don't know if I did talk about that in the last vlog, didn't I? I'll sum it up really, no, did I? I think I did. Anyway, we're gonna sum it up really quick. So it was a special episode. I started following the creator on Twitter. So now I do know for a fact that it is like the season's over. Why? Why'd you do that? Yeah, my crisp Sprite Zero. Nice, very, very good. I love it. I don't like the way that fucking ended. I didn't. Of course, I moved my mouse and then I'm like fucking going all, where the fuck is the mouse? Oh, there we are. I move it from over there to over here and I'm like, I can't stand myself sometimes, but anyway, I'm disappointed. But I will say this, girl, I unlocked some stuff. Let's see what, she looks familiar. Who made you? I unlocked all of Driver's High. I'm liking that. I saw the event on Lezen and I was like, I want to get into it. I want to get into that. And honestly, it's good so far. I like it. It's going to be cute. There's a bunch of other stuff that I keep being recommended that I'm like, ooh, I think I want to get into that. I think I want to get into that. So yeah, that's lesson. Today at lunch, I was reading more of How to Hide the Emperor's Child. This one's stressing me out. Now, it's still good. It's kind of like To Whom It No Longer Concerns, and that high, low stakes, like everything's going to work out for the main female character, but like, y'all are testing me. Y'all are cutting it close here. But this one, this main thing that's happening, because I think I'm getting close to the end, it has to do with her father. Now, here's a bit of a spoiler. I don't know if it's true, but it's fairly clear. Well, actually, no, I did actually. It's confirmed. So here's a spoiler for that. Pass if you don't want to know. It is so obvious that Estelle and her brother are not the biological children of the man who has been, everyone feels is her father, Duke Lestern. And the only reason why there's a dukedom is because of the mother, not him. He's a bum, as we know. I hate these men. But there's this guy who's been coming around who used to be close to her mother and grandfather. He has vibrant green eyes. As soon as we zoomed in on those, I was like, those are very, very pretty. Peridot looking. And guess what? The daddy doesn't have that. But this man does, and then we just got confirmed that, like, that's not the children. But the dad is such a, like, the fake biological dad. That dude is so diabolical. It's actually kind of scary, and it makes me sick. Like, he is so desperate to be in power. And I think it's so clear that we know why. We don't know yet, but I think we kind of know why, frickin' Kaizen, that's his name, the main man, why he divorced Estelle to begin with, right? Because they literally had one night together, their first night as a married couple, they have sex, but the emperor dies. Kaizen was just the prince. The emperor died, his father, and he's like, oh, fuck. But he says, we're going to annul this, basically. It's a crazy moment. It's a crazy moment. He's not entertaining other women in between all these years, by the way. But I think what makes the most sense is that he and probably his father suspected how diabolical the Duke was. And I wonder if maybe he had a hand in possibly killing the emperor. Because a lot of people are scheming. A lot of people don't like Kaizen. So I think what ended up happening was, somehow, some way, whether it was natural causes or someone did kill the emperor, they were going to kill him. I think that the Duke wanted to kill Kaizen so that it could immediately make Estelle the empress, but the dad would be like the regent, is that what it's called? Diabolical. So now Kaizen sliced with the poison sword as usual. And we know who's behind it. It's the fucking Duke. Especially because now he knows that those kids are not his kids. So he realized that Estelle and her brother were working together to push the Duke out. And so he wouldn't have any claim to anything going on. So this was his, like, final thing. Like, she's going to ascend. Like, basically, he's consistently, like, threatening Estelle. I don't know why no one's just killed him. Maybe I'm a little bloodthirsty. But I think it's time to kill that man. Why not? Why are we waiting for evidence? We already know he's guilty. I don't know. Because, I mean, is he really getting... I don't know. That's not the point. I don't like him. Get him out of here. But obviously I know that she will be successful. They're going to find out. They're going to find out the other houses that are doing shit. And they're going to take him down. And I can't wait. Because F you. So that's exciting. Now, Spring, Storm, and Monster. I'll read the back. I've talked about this so many times. So I'm going to try really hard to get it together for you guys. Because, like, something that ends up happening for me sometimes if I talk about the same thing over and over again, because maybe I didn't like the way I said it the first time or described it. Maybe I was too long-winded. I get so annoyed with myself that then I'm like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm going to try not to do that. I'm also going to try to make it simple. So bear with me. Okay, I'm going to read the back. You're like the monster that came in the spring. Just her pet pig and her mom. Those are the only two things Ronco needs or wants in her life. Not all the irritating people at school, not her new stepdad, and certainly not the scary guy from the alley. Still, life is like a box of chocolates. So of course, scary guy has to show up at her house, along with her new stepdad, as her adopted stepbrother. In the end of the world, it's the end of the world as she knows it. However, with her pig's life and her mom's happiness at stake, she's determined to figure out how to survive the monster lurking in his eyes. So, this is a very interesting story. As I said earlier, it's really straddling the fence, walking the line, whatever, of the taboo step-siblings thing. Now, the interesting dynamic here, though, is that the stepdad is not this guy's biological father. He's like a cousin in a way, but not even like his brother's son. It's like a distant, type of situation. So they're not going to be, he's not even his legal guardian. I think like through the courts, just like, hey, can you take this kid? You know what I'm saying? So that's still funky. That was something I kept getting caught up on when I initially was talking about this in the book. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Because there's no feeling, oh well, I'm here for the ride. So Ronco's a very interesting character. I like her. She's very introverted. She's so introverted that when we first meet her, she is on her way to school. It's, I think, her first day of high school or something like that. Or she's in high school. She is on the bus, and some girls recognize her and kind of try to speak to her, get her attention, because they know her. They can tell that she goes there. And she's like, I'm going to stop riding the bus after this, because she really does not want to be perceived at all. On her way to school, she walks through an alley. Some guy's getting his ass beat, and then he is there, Kaya, and he is beating his ass, and he's like, oh, gotta avoid him. He is a year younger than her, so he's still technically in middle school. So I'm assuming that she's a freshman in high school, and he's a ninth grader or something. So, yeah, her mom is getting remarried. This is not the first time. Okay, this seems like it's a very long list of people that her mom gets in relationships with. I'm not really a fan of that personally, but who am I? Maybe that will be addressed later in the series, because it does kind of seem like her mom, I don't know, it just seems like, I don't know if maybe Ronco just is kind of like, okay, whatever, I don't care. But having all these men come in and out of the house, I have my opinions, but I'll keep them to myself. I think y'all can tell what the hell I think. I'm not a fan. So, yes, her mom's extroverted. She's always kind of trying to encourage her to get out of her shell, but Ronco really just wants to go to school, get her grades, come home, play video games, hang out with her pig, hang out with her mom, and everything's cool. It does seem like she likes her stepdad, though, which is nice. But surprise, the day that this dude is moving in, he's bringing fucking Kaya with him because he has nowhere else to go. There's a very, like, right off the bat, I was like, oh, something's definitely off with him, and I couldn't quite tell. But then we get into it, and I will talk about it. So, like, there's this moment where he is kind of making, he doesn't have a towel on, and his wiener is exposed. He is propositioning Ronco, like, oh, if you I can tell you don't know what the hell's going on here. If you're interested, let me know. You can give me some money, and I'll teach you about the birds and the bees, basically. And I said, now, before we even got to that part, I was like, he's been assaulted. Something happened to him, and he was sexually assaulted as a kid. And wouldn't you fucking know it? Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily say that he's extroverted. He's just, I don't know. I don't really know how to put how Kaya is, but he's clearly kind of hanging out more with the bad crowd. She ends up saying something to him that, of course, she doesn't know anything about him yet. She's only, like, saying something rude to him based off of his appearance, and he kind of runs away. She feels extremely guilty when she finds out, like, what his living situation was before then. So she goes to find him, and that's, like, his first time of being confronted with someone expressing, like, hey, come home with me. I'm really sorry. Basically somebody caring, because he was basically viewing the living situation as, like, I'm going to be here temporarily until you people get tired of me, and you're going to throw me out, basically. That's been his life, basically. And after that, they come to an understanding, and they start to get close-ish. But then kisses start to happen. And it's very, very awkward, because obviously there's going to be something that's going on where they are in it's a romantic situation going on. It's hard because he's calling her mom, and the dude dad. And so is she's calling him dad too. And I think that's right. I call my stepdad dad, but like, I didn't call him dad when he was first like with my mom. You know what I mean? We had to build that up. But I mean, again, the stepdad hasn't been in the life for that long. So that's not the point. I'm getting wrapped up in that. Okay. So the way the first volume ends, they share a kiss. Okay. Well, y'all know how I feel about this. It is what it is. Blah, blah, blah. Oh God, this one was actually really funny. So in this first volume, he shows up at her school, and some people misread the situation, and a young guy, obviously the possible second love interest, is like, hey man, don't be fucking weird with chicks. And Kai's like, what's going on? So of course he notices Yuka, that dude, and now he's talking to her more, and now more people are perceiving her, and apparently a lot of people actually want to get to know her, but people can't tell if she's like being rude or what. So they have to have a school trip. This was so funny. Okay, so they have a school trip. Obviously the dude ends up wanting her to be in their group, and there's a girl though who's also in there, and I think she's gonna grow on me eventually, but she definitely is ridiculous. You can tell that she is boy crazy and a little bit of a pick-me. She instantly, because he ends up kind of like following them because he doesn't want her. Basically, up until now, she's like, people scare me. So he's thinking like, I'm taking this in a place of like, I'm going to protect you. But the line is being really blurred of like, big sister, we just kissed? What the fuck? The moments with this girl are so funny, because when she basically gets him to do a double date, dude, she's so crazy at the double date. It is so funny. Oh my God. Like, this is so funny. I can't take it. But anyway, the way it ends is they end up kissing again, girl. What the hell? So we're in it for the long haul. Because they're like, next volume, should you really be looking at your little brother like that, Oni-chan? Oh God, panicked. Ronko wonders how she's supposed to face the monster in the depths of his heart. Okay, but really quickly, we're going to talk about the sexual abuse that he experienced. So we find out that one of the last homes that he was in, the older daughter was coming into his room, assaulting him, and then paying him for it. And when the father showed up earlier than anyone was expecting, she turned around and said, oh, he did something appropriate to me. And he was kicked out, and he was like, no one's going to believe me anyway, so I didn't say anything. I didn't stand up for myself. And I really, really hope that Kaya is able to talk to the stepdad about this, because the stepdad actually seems like a good person. He's a teacher, but he doesn't know everything that's going on. And something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. But they're getting caught in compromising situations now that are very, very awkward. What's happening there? What's happening? I don't know, but we shall see. But this is an interesting read. Obviously, I'm going to keep going because I have the next 2 volumes, but I am excited to continue to see where it goes. I assume they're going to be together. Because what other story have you read in a situation like this where she ends up with someone else? I don't know. It would be interesting if it did happen, though. If maybe he is healed from some of the trauma that he's experienced. She can also experience healing from what she experienced when she was younger, but they end up with different people. I think realistically, though, they're going to end up together. We shall see. We shall see. I'm just along for the ride. I'm just here. But, okay, that killed like 30 minutes. I'm closer to 6:30 now than I was before, which means Devin's going to call me soon because he gets off of work at 6:30 today. So, yes, now I have 30 minutes left. So we're making good time. But I'm out of breath. So I'm gonna blow my nose. Let's do one more sip. Cheers. You know what I did you back here? So good. You know what else I have? Salt and vinegar chips. Cutting the roof of my mouth up. My mouth is torn up from coughing, hacking, to these damn cough drops wrecking the fucking roof of my mouth. I said, you know what? Let's add a little bit more pain and suffering on the sickness I've been experiencing. Let's put some salt and vinegar chips in here. I'm a sick person. It's fine. We'll be okay. But anyway, I will see you guys again. I'll show you if we end up, you know, we are, but I'm going to show you guys a little bit. And then we'll come back and I'll talk about the shit I read. So exciting. So I'll see you in a second. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so I'm sorry. I didn't end up like filming a little bit of myself. On the live stream last night. It was so much fun. It was with Bonnie, Jamie, and Eliza. I had such a fabulous time. Doing reading sprints with Bonnie is really, really fun. I really, really, really enjoy her energy. Like, I mean, I know you're watching this, so I mean, I might as well just talk directly to you. Your energy is just so awesome. Oh, I can't even put it into words. It's just like, obviously I've never met Bonnie in real life, but it's like, I feel like if I were to meet her in real life, it would be like I'm meeting a friend that I already know. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just love that. I just love Bonnie's personality. I love Bonnie's energy. She smiles, you smile. You know what I mean? She laughs, you laugh. Oh, yes, I love it. So thank you so much for inviting me. And it was so much fun. And it's crazy because like, what was it? Almost like 3 hours. It didn't feel like that. It really, really, really didn't, which I love moments like that. Like, I love when, like, you can hang out with someone and the time goes by and it seems like it went by so fast, but you were there for so long. I love those types of hangouts. And you know I love to chat, so chatting is fun to me. But I did get some reading done last night, so on the sprint, I finished volume 3 of Spring, Storm, and Monster. And just now I finished the rest of Tease Me Harder. I got over halfway through with this one. We'll talk about this one first. Interesting developments. I'm really interested in this. I really am interested to see where this story will go because, yeah, I don't know how to put it. So Kaya, he's doing a little bit better in school. He's going to school. Okay. We have to really dive into what happened to him as a kid. We're seeing some flashbacks. I predict that what happened was either his mom was in an abusive relationship or maybe his older sister was in an abusive relationship or another woman or young girl who was close to him was in an abusive relationship. He saw her being beat on and he beat on that person and that's what got him taken away out of the situation. And maybe him beating up the abuser horrified whoever this victim was in his life. And, you know, as they say, it takes, I think I read somewhere that it takes about 7 attempts before some people can successfully leave an abusive relationship. And domestic violence is very serious. Now, I obviously, I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but I'm sensing that because there's a moment where, you know, he reacts violently and she's like, hey, why are you doing that? You know, even though she was being bothered by 2 boys who were not like picking up on the fact that she didn't want to speak to them. So I'll say this about her is that like, I can appreciate what she's trying to teach Kaya, but at the same time, you have no self-confidence. You rarely can stand up for I mean, basically up until this point, I fear that she would have done everything she could to avoid a situation. But when the situation can't be avoided, I don't know that she is capable of advocating for herself or calling out for help. I think she would freeze, which is a natural reaction, but you know, her reaction to him being kind of violent was, nobody deserves to be hurt. And he's like, some people do deserve to be hurt. So she has a very naive, she's just very naive. She's lived a sheltered life. She has a great relationship with her mom, but her mom clearly doesn't push her to go and do other stuff. I'm even wondering if her mom even knows why she's become so, why she's such an introverted person. So it's a bit unfair or unrealistic for you to give him advice. You have no idea what it's like to live his life. So, but it's not as though she's like a bitch about it or anything, you know, but you guys are both kids. It's kind of like the blind leading the blind in a way, but at the same time, it's not. Like, you have to grow up. You have to learn these things. But, like, I'm not sure why we're not bringing in adults here. But then again, that's also a very normal thing that a kid would do, you know? So it's interesting, but that's what I think happened to him. So he reacts that way. And whoever that person was in his life, he cared about them deeply. And it was a woman. So, you know, her thing, Ronco's thing is that he's like a baby, and she starts to become maternal towards him, which this is also further blurring the lines because they end up making out with tongue at the end of this one. Lord. Okay. But she's always like thinking of him as a baby that needs to be taken care of. An adult needs to be brought into the situation immediately because what the fuck is going on with these kids? They need some serious help. He needs serious help because this is someone who obviously had a traumatic childhood, was then sexually assaulted by multiple women that he, in these houses he was bounced around from. And then I guess these other people, he's used to being violent. He's had violence inflicted on him. Like, he needs more than just her, but this is a good start. It's helping him understand. But of course, with that, he becomes extremely overprotective and possessive of her. So and then she's also evolving now. She is making friends. That's not what she originally wanted. She doesn't know what to do with that. She has people come to her house. Now, granted, she's put in a weird situation where she didn't feel like she could say no. Do you see what I'm saying? She can't advocate for herself, but she ended up having fun, so it's okay. But when he gets home and he sees it, he's like already agitated, and then that makes him mad. He's like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you paying attention to them? It's gonna be very complicated. And then the other dude who obviously was going to like her, we already knew, Yasu, I think his name is. Now we have him in the mix confessing that he likes her to him. Why would you do that when you know that there's a weird fucking thing going on here? I've got questions. But all in all, again, I'm really interested in this. I went ahead and added it to Goodreads and StoryGraph and stuff, and I looked at one comment, and they're right. Like, this is not, I haven't read a lot. I haven't had like a huge catalog of stuff I've read that shoujo, but of the majority of the ones that I've read, this is unlike a lot that I've read, in that these are very, very layered and complicated young people. Obviously that does happen. But I do feel like in some of the middle school, you know, shoujos, are they a little layered? Yeah, but it's only because it's like growing up and coming of age. Very rarely of the ones I've read are like the young people dealing with past trauma necessarily. It's all very sweet and, you know, sprinkles and sweetness and cookies and blah, blah, blah. This is a little darker. Especially because of the step sibling dynamic as well. Because it's like, he's not the biological son of her stepdad. He is not even the nephew of a stepdad. He is some other distant relative. But you're living under the same roof with her and her mom, and everybody's calling each other mom and dad, which is fucking weird. It's fucking weird, dude. I don't get it. We're kissing. I don't know. But I want to see how, I mean, it's so obvious that Ronco's eventually going to realize, look, if I have a bit of discernment, if I you know, have more, if I'm more assertive and more confident in myself, I might not have to have a repeat of what happened. Like, unfortunately, that experience when she was young of her female friends trying to include her in drama and being mad when she did not participate in it, that sucks. That's a canon event, though. Like, I can't speak for every person, but like, I would put money on more than half the female population has been in that circumstance at a point in their life, right? So, okay, say, you know what, I don't care. And this is why I think I tend to like characters that are gals, because, and obviously they're all different, you know what I'm saying? Like, not every gal is the same, but oftentimes it's like there's a sense of friendship amongst these girls. Now some of them could be bullies, you know, we see some of the gal bullies in some of these stories, but you also see the ones that are like, man, I don't fucking play that. That's my friend. Don't fucking talk about my bitch. No. She needs to become friends with, it's ridiculous that she's going to be really close to the friend that's a pick me, though. But I have a feeling that she's actually going to be a good female friend in a weird way. Like, she's so fucking weird. I do like her. She's growing on me, but I don't typically like male-centered women. You know what I mean? And that is how that, but hey, she could grow out of that. You know, I think we all had a boy crazy stage, or just like a love interest crazy stage. You know, we all did it. Everybody's had it. But yeah, Springstorm and Monster, you've got your hooks in me. You do. And I'm here for it. Now, Tease Me Harder. Interesting. So, I'm very excited because I was right. She is a dom. I'm far more interested in her. I am going to give spoilers. So, they're chugging along with their BDSM relationship. He is doing more things with her, but he is having an issue. Like, internally, he is really struggling with the fact that I'm inflicting pain on my girlfriend, and I don't like that I'm inflicting pain on her, even if it's something that she wants, and it's not something that I'm not beating my girlfriend, because out of anger. We have a conversation about this thing, but he's not wrong in his thoughts of like, okay, what if we do make a safe word and she doesn't use it because she wants me to go that far? What do I do then? So what has basically happened with them is basically they're at the stage, because they're both novices, right? She doesn't know any other women or men who are submissives, and he doesn't know any other men and women who are doms. So they're learning this together. Of course, some of the first pornography he watched was probably very extreme. So, oh God, it reminds me of, what was that manhwa I read that was so fucking funny? I'm gonna have to go back and look at my vlogs, because that one was so funny. When he unfortunately watched the most extreme BDSM porn, it's like, why are you doing this? Why'd you think this was gonna happen? Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, like they have a nice little moment, but he's at work and he's like reminiscing on the thought, and he looks down at his hand and he thinks, oh my, like I think his hand is a little tender from where he was slapping her thighs. And he's horrified by it, because at this point, he's giving into every single thing that she wants. And even though she has these moments of thinking like, oh, my hero. I didn't need to give that. But, like, I don't really like her. And I can't, it's hard. I can't relate to it. And that doesn't matter if you can relate to it or not. But I don't typically like characters that are written like this. I don't typically like female characters who are submissive and behave like she does. It's hard. I'm trying to get past it, because honestly, I know I'm going to like this series, but finding out that she's a dom, I like her so much more than her, especially because it's not like she's just, we even got a little bit of her backstory. They should absolutely be friends, But I think her pitifulness is the thing that I don't like. And I don't typically like characters that are very pitiful, right? So anyway, they do the very cute birthday thing. He had mentioned, like, she's like, well, you're always doing what I want, so what would you like? And he's like, oh, I would actually like it if you made me omelet rice in a maid costume. That's such a cute and funny interaction. He takes her picture when she's in the maid outfit. So adorable. Girl, hold on, let me try to find it. Let me tell you when I gasped. Oh God, yeah, that. Oh yeah, let me make sure that you don't see that. Oh gosh, she accidentally bought a thong. It was just so funny. I mean, she's so adorable though. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can find when he takes the photos of her. Oh, yeah, because so she's in her maid costume. It's obviously tight. He just thinks that she's the cute. I like them as a couple. I really, really, really do. I really like them as a couple. But, okay, so hold on. Let me see. Yeah, because they got a little bit of nudity in here. They don't show ween, but everything else. Let's see. Oh my God, yeah, so he is looking at her photo, but he's still having, he's still questioning. This girl is leaned over him, seeing the picture of her. She clocks it immediately because she's really a dom. Instantly love her. But I was a little scared. Oh, and can we talk about this part? Okay, oh, okay, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me get to the part in here. This was shocking and kind of hot. Okay, so they're like in their early to mid 20s, from what I understand. So she's still a college student at Yuka, and never had a boyfriend. It's like, I don't typically like even characters like that where it's like, I've never dated anybody, I have no idea. Haven't you watched a fucking TV show? Haven't you read a book? Like, I know when you don't like have the physical experience yourself, but like, don't you fucking know how to do who am I not trying to be rude, but still. So typical date, we're gonna go to a hot spring. Girl, they get to being tied up, having sex, blah blah blah, but then, oh God, it's a step too far, and they haven't talked about this. So, her whole thing is, I want to be wrecked by you. I want you to ruin me. That's very extreme for them, okay? This is someone who, this is the first time for both of you. You've had most of your life to figure out that you are submissive and establish these, like, thoughts and feelings. He's never thought about doing any of this. He truly is the one who is out of his depth, and you're asking him to take control of a situation that it didn't ever cross his mind to do this, right? So much like he researched, he was very proactive and researched what I can do to be a good dom for my partner who's submissive. He's approaching this on how to do something for her. He is finding a few things that he likes here and there. She is I don't mean this in a mean way, but she's completely selfish in this. Even when she's like, oh, well, I can't, I got to do things from here. Like, the maid thing is very cute, but like, you don't ask really. I don't feel like she really makes the space for them to have a real conversation about, like, her insecurities and her feelings about how this makes him feel. I almost feel like when they approach the conversation, it's mostly like she brings it up in a way that he's automatically going to be like, no, like, I don't feel that way. I could be wrong, but that's just how I was picking up on it. And it was like, girl. Okay, anyway, the step too far is she wants him to choke him. She wants him to choke her. And he is like, I can't do that. And she's like having him press his hands on her neck, and he stops, and then unfortunately he says the thing that has been her fear, and he communicates it completely wrong. He definitely comes off like an asshole, especially because you've already know how this has made her feel to be into this stuff. He's like, why can't we just have a normal sex relationship? Do you want me to kill you? Because I don't want to kill you. So there's an understanding here. She doesn't want to be killed. But she hasn't communicated what it means when she says, I want you to ruin me. You know, she hasn't communicated that. So there's a communication problem. That's the main thing. He was out of line to say it that way because you know what her insecurity is. So why the fuck did you say it like that, dude? Like, come on, take a breath and be like, you know what? This is too much for me. And basically the point is, you have to also advocate for yourself and say, this is too far. I'm not going to do anything that would cause you to pass out, that could possibly result in your death. And I understand that you want me to crank the knob up, but I don't want, I'm fine with the knob being at a 7 and 10. I don't want it cranked up anymore. So and that's the whole thing. That's the thing about BDSM. I'm not in that scene per se, but communication is what I've always heard and read and seen that you have to have in these relationships. It's not just the fucking dumb shit, 50 Shades of Grey shit. And some of the other, I mean, sometimes it is. Some people like that. Some people like the real hardcore stuff. But even within the hardcore stuff, there has to be communication. If you don't have that, it's getting, we're drawing the line. Who am I? Okay, now we got problems. We have the falling out. She picks up on it. So this is the scene. So I knew that this was coming. So she reveals to him what happened. I almost cried. I almost fucking cried. I like her so much more. And I feel kind of bad about that, but I really already like her so much more than I like her. So we find out from her that she used to be a queen. So she was the dom in these relationships. And she had a sub who ended up passing away. And that's why she stopped doing it. And what he gets scared. He's like, oh my God, did she kill him? But what happened is that when she was first starting to do this, she had a client, an older man who was married and who had kids. They never slept together. It was just like the spanking and the dressing up and stuff. He would come to her and she was his first client. So he kind of taught her things and she became more confident in what she was doing. It was a strictly professional relationship, but obviously I think that he had a spot in her heart because he kind of taught her how to do things. And then one day he's like, hey, I'm going to be going away with my family. I might not see you for a while, but I will reach out to you when I can. And she's like, okay, that's fine. And then like for a year, she never hears from him. And she's like, oh my God, like, did I do something wrong? Did he find someone else? Her hope is that he just found someone else and that, yeah, it sucks. But then she finds out that he passed away. And it sounds like he had a terminal illness. That made me want to cry. Because then she's like, oh my God, I had this experience with this person. And I didn't know, she knew an intimate side of him, but not that. That was reserved for his family, obviously. And she goes to his funeral because she sees his obituary. But she doesn't go in because she's like, what if I look like I'm a mistress? I don't want to ruin anything, for his family and friends and his job. Like, I have to separate myself. And that really, really hurt her. Bitch, that made me so sad. Yeah. So anyway, girl. So, yeah, they have that. And then he's like, I really want to understand where my girlfriend's coming from. Like, I want to know, I want to have a better understanding. Girl, because he's like, I don't know, I don't want to choke her. She puts her hands around his fucking neck. Do you see what I'm saying? There's something about this that does it for me. I don't want to see a woman do this. That's just me. That's not a judgment. I'm saying it for myself. I only want to personally see men being submissive. I prefer that. So yeah, she's getting off a little bit. But she's not trying to, she's not trying to fuck with him in a way that's like, I'm gonna, but she does make her little comments. She said, why don't you be my servant, girl? But you see, like, this image of a woman standing above a man on his hands and knees, that is fucking sexy to me. That's all I'm saying. I like this. I'm not so much about seeing the other way around. That's just me. Everybody can like their thing, but this to me is so, this does it for me. I guess let's just keep it that simple. And that does it for me. Man on his knees, begging. Yeah, I like that. So anyway, he then approaches her and he's like, girl, hold on. He approaches her and he's like, you know what? I need you to teach me. Which I knew that was going to happen. And I like it. You see, get the background. She has a sex dungeon at her place, by the way. Let me tell you something. She comes out looking like this. Fine as hell, okay? Ass, titties. Yeah. She's fucking hot. I almost want him to be a sub. I almost want him to have his sub awakening. You know what would be nice? They have their sub awakening and she doms for both of them. Now, I like that dynamic. I like the dynamic if she's submissive and she's the dom. I think that's a thing. I don't like seeing men be dominant over a woman. I don't like that. Personal preference, that's just me. But a woman, and a man can be dominant on a male sub. I don't like the dynamic of a man being the dom for a woman. That's just me. That's just my personal preference. But this, oh, hell yeah. Write that story. Make that a little side situation at the end. I'd appreciate it. Ultimately, we've got a lot of layered characters here. And the thing I really, really liked, and why I know I'm going to like her. I know I'm going to like her so much. So, we saw her background. She's a kid. I don't know, I think this is another canon event. Accidentally, like, stumbling upon pornography that maybe your parents had, or, like, on the internet. I think that's what happened, and unfortunately that is what happened to me too. Jesus Christ. Terrible memories, but So, either way, she stumbles upon hentai, basically, and it awakens something in her. And that's where it begins. And then she feels weird because she's like, I hear other girls in my class, and that's not what they get from magical girl stuff. She has that moment, but she also has that moment. Except it's from a dominant place. And a guy confesses to her, and he's like, I really like you. She doesn't even know who he is. Is that typical? Or is that just something that's written? Because I find that so interesting. I don't know if that's typically something that happens in America, but like, you typically develop a crush on someone when you have kind of proximity to them. Now, you might not know them like that, and maybe you are like from a different like group of people. So like maybe you're like the less popular group, and there's a popular group, and maybe the popular group wouldn't necessarily know you by name, but like, you would be aware, but she doesn't know who the fuck he is. Is that typical? We're just like a stranger in my school is like, no, back up. I don't fucking like you, and I don't owe you anything just because you say you like me. I don't even know your name. Barely even introduce yourself. Anyway, he's like, I really like you, da-da-da. And she's like, okay. Takes her sock off and says, lick my foot. First of all, let me tell you something. Devin would be in heaven if I did some shit like that. Lord. But he's like, I don't think I can do this. And she's like, okay. And then she realizes that she has her own moment, and she's like, I guess I'm not like everybody else. They have to be friends. And I want them to be friends. And what I want from her is I want her to teach her, please stand up a little bit, please. But he needs to everybody needs to learn something here. And I think that that's good. You know, everybody has to start somewhere. So, you know, I know that I was kind of critical sounding of Yuka, but it's only because, like, it's hard to put into words. There's so much more shame with sexuality when it comes to women. So it's completely understandable that this thing that she's been ashamed of and kept a secret, when she finds somebody who is accepting of her, she is like, ooh, I want to dive into this. It makes total sense. She has every right to be excited about that. And if this person is also saying like, oh, no, it's okay. Like, why would you question it? Because even when she's kind of questioning herself, she's like, well, no, I think he would tell me or something. But they're in the early stages of their relationship. So communication isn't like great. It's not the worst, but it's not the best, right? So they need more time. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, but her desires are more extreme. And I think that she also needs to maybe write these down. Write down the things that she's into so he can see them. And then he can decide, okay, that's too far for me. Like, she wants to be a complete sex slave. And Mahiro, I think, is like, I don't want to degrade you. Like, I don't personally like humiliation. I would never be comfortable humiliating someone. I think she does a really good job of showing that, like, she has a persona that when she puts on that outfit, that's when she's completely clocked into her dominant side. She's always dominant, but that's when she clocks into it and really, you know, really sinks in, and she's going in and she's fully on, you know? So maybe that's what needs to happen, but I don't think he wants to do that. I don't think he wants to humiliate her. Like, some of her fantasies are a little, maybe you'd be experiencing verbal abuse, I guess. Maybe someone from the outside would say. I don't think he wants to talk to her like that. So they just need to communicate. So I'm hoping that, you know, it is interesting though, because he said, she's like, is your girlfriend going to mind that, like, you're subbing for me? And he's like, no, I'm going to tell her. And I do like him. I like every single person involved in this because they're all very sincere. He's a very sincere person. He's going to tell her the truth. He's going to be like, look, I wanted to understand where you were coming from, and I'm working with a professional, and I allowed myself to be put in your shoes to understand. Okay, girl, but I'm telling you, best outcome would actually be her doming both of them, and they both being her sub. Somebody write that. Mangaka, please write that. Oh my goodness, you would make me so happy. You would make me so freaking happy. But anyway, I am so exhausted from talking. I just talked for 32 minutes. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. I gotta blow my nose and I have to start getting ready for the day, which I don't want to. I want to stay home. I love staying home. It makes me so happy. But I can't. So I'll see you guys later. We will be talking a little bit more. I hope to read volume 4 for sure. And I'm going to get volume 5 when it comes out on the 24th. So I will see you guys again in a second. Hey everybody. All right, so today's Tuesday. The hair is not done. We're still wearing the sleep shirt with the makeup's on. So that means we'll be leaving in a minute because I want to go to Brulala. Yeah, so it's Tuesday. Yesterday we were off. Hung out with my parents. We had our game day. We're getting very close to the end of playing this legacy game. It's been really fun. And we went out to eat. It was just a really nice day, but I did manage to read these 2 things. I had a busy weekend because I was still working, so Monday I didn't read that much, so I apologize. We will be reading more today though. I read The Terrifying Students at Ghoul School Volume 1. I got this in my Hansama box a month, I don't remember. I won't be continuing this, and I will be selling this. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good enough for me to want to continue, but it was very cute. I did also read Spring Storm and Monster Volume 4. I can't wait for Volume 5, okay? It comes out on the 25th, 4th, which is the day after my birthday, I am gonna go to Books A Million on the way to, well, after I get my brouhaha, just because, you know, that way I don't have to cross 4 lanes of traffic. I can just keep going, you know. I have a map in my mind of how this works. We're gonna see maybe if she's there. You never know. Sometimes they get here early. But this was interesting. Okay, things are escalating even more. At the end of volume 3, right? Yeah, at the end of volume 3, Nasu says to Kaya that he likes Ronko. Nasu does not understand the dynamic going on here with Kaya and Ronko. So he's set something burning, blazing hotter than before. So that makes Kaya even more possessive and overprotective of Ronko. She is slowly, and I have to remember, like, she's a high schooler, but she's like a freshman in high school, right? She's still very young. She's probably 16. I try to put myself in the mind of when I was 16, and yeah, there were things that I was self-conscious about and didn't feel like I had the, what's the right word? Had the power to maybe like put my foot down. So I try to be mindful of that when reading this, because Ronko is not my favorite, but she's not my least favorite by any means. All of that to say, she how do I say it? She keeps viewing Kaya as a baby, which means she gives into him a lot. There's obviously another dynamic to that, because she knows some of his past. You know, he was sexually abused and assaulted by older girls and women, physically abused by older men and boys. He has been kind of pushed from place to place. Clearly there's a situation that happened that turned things out like this. And by that I mean, we haven't discovered it yet, but I think he had to either save an older sister or his mom from being abused, and that's why he approaches everything violently. So you understand why Ronko kind of feels the way she does. Like, she's protective of him, but like truly as a little brother. The problem is that no one has addressed the fact that Kaya was groomed. Ronko doesn't understand what that means, so I don't expect her to do that, but they haven't told an adult yet. They haven't told an adult, hey, Kaya was groomed by older girls and women and was made to think that paying for sex was okay at his young age by these older girls and women. So something is not quite right with him. So he doesn't understand the dynamic that's going on. He has feelings for Ronko, but they're twisted up in the really confusing feelings of being groomed and associating this with, like, you know, being somewhat sexual. So now when I say it's escalated to what I thought was a kiss in the pool was a lick, but has now full on gone into making out. And he did this in front of Nasu on purpose. So there's another level of manipulation going on. You want to be understanding of Kaya because of the circumstances that he's grown up in, but at the same time, you know, like, it's wrong to do that. So I really find this story interesting. You know, Ronko is trying to make friends. She's now having to understand, like, look, I had this bad experience when I was a kid. It almost came up again. Well, it actually did come up again, where someone's trying to put her in the middle of drama because these girls are mad that Nasu's being cool. And yet my thing is, like, if that is such I mean, there's obviously truth to that, like, that in the dynamic of the school system there, that this is like the kind of way people behave. And it's like, I'm not going to stop being friends with my friend just because he's a guy, just because you like him. No, I'm not fucking doing that. And I don't ever think it was like that when I was growing up. Obviously, I wasn't hanging out with every single person, but the thought of that, the thought of like other girls being cruel to me because I'm cool with this guy and we're friends because you like him. Girl, a girl, and they're all trying to bully her. But then Hoshi comes, and I like Hoshi. She's such an interesting character too, because she fully embraces her boy craziness, and I really like that. I really, really like that about her. She is not shy to say like, no, I want to I want to be with and marry a hot dude. Not even necessarily one person in particular. She's got like a roster of the hot guys in school that she's like keeping track of. And she's very much like, I don't need to be friends with a woman. I don't care. I really don't give a shit. I want to be with a man, and girls just get in the way, so I don't care. But she is slowly becoming friends with Ranko, obviously. And then eventually Ranko gets roped into doing something. Hoshi tags along, and she's like, I guess it isn't so bad having having girlfriends. It's funny because it's like her ulterior motives are not so hidden anymore. It's so funny. Like, her character, I really like her. But the way this ends is Nasu may try to work with Hoshi to basically maybe possibly separate Kaya and Ranko. I don't know, but I need volume 5. I need all the volumes. I don't know how long the series is going to be. I've seen a lot more of the covers, I think. So I think there's at least 9 volumes, if I'm remembering correctly. But I think that this, depending how the story progresses, especially if they finally talk to an adult, I want to see how that's handled if it gets taken that place. Because I think that needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed, and yeah. And then, of course, the weird-ass dynamic between... Because my thing is like, you know, she's like, he's my precious little brother. He's not your little brother. He's not. He's not the stepdad's son. He is a distant relative of the stepdad. And they're not married yet. And he's not legally, like, on paper, it doesn't seem like he's his guardian in the fact that, okay, what other family member is there? But they keep referring to each other as like brother and sister. And it's like, I guess yes, but like, no. I don't know. It's very, very strange. It's very strange, and I feel uncomfortable. But the other reason why I wanted to film really quick before I got out even into my hair was I ordered something, and it finally got here. I pre-ordered this really freaking cool cardigan from Elamoli? And this is a cardigan from Green Yuri. And I even have volume 3 here. Hold on. Girl, these things almost fell yesterday. Embarrassing. I need to get back into it. I need to. But I finally got the cardigan, and I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. I didn't even open it yet. So this is the cardigan for the guy I was interested, wasn't in a guy at all. I didn't XL in the size, but let's see, we got some nice buttons. Yes, I loved the lime green, and I loved the checkered print. Obviously, you have to have the lime green if we're talking Green Yuri, but then the sleeves, we'll get into the sleeves too. I'll show you the details. But it's so cute, and I don't have anything like this. I think the last cardigans I ordered was a Crunchyroll sale that had like one-piece sweaters on there. And I ordered Devin a Christmas sweater, and then myself some other one-piece sweaters, a Christmas sweater, and a one-piece cardigan. Now it's a little bit too big for me, but hey, maybe I can get that taken in. I don't know how those things work, but we shall see. Or just have a slouchy cardigan. These buttons. Goddamn. These holes versus buttons, girl. Let me tell you, when it's buttoned, it's not coming unbuttoned. You can try, like me. Bitch. Okay. All right, so here is the first sleeve. You have the title. So cute. Adorable. Boom. Let's see. Let's pop her on. Oh, yeah, because it's got like the cool bell sleeve. I don't have anything like this, so very interesting. Huh. Oh, maybe I'll wear this out. Might be cute. I'm not gonna stand up though. But very cute, very different. I don't know if I have an appropriate, not appropriate, but like a shirt that would make sense with this. We'll see. But yeah, she's a cutie. Oh, nothing's on the back, right? I don't think so. I'll look at it when I take it off, but you know? Oh, and I also got new glasses. Ah! Let's get a real close up. Oh God. Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, girl, she's so cute. We got little gems. Yeah. I get all my glasses from Firm, if anybody was wondering. Let's back you up a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, now it's getting stuck on something. All right. There we go. Yes, I get all of my glasses from Firm. I got 4 new sets. At this point, I don't know how many pairs of glasses I own. I'll put the number up somewhere. Devin also wears glasses, but he was like, you own more glasses than I've ever owned in my entire life. And you know what? You can own as many glasses as me too, Debbie. What the hell? Get the variety. Why not? I mean, it's an accessory that also is, for the fact that I can't see. So it's a dual awesome thing, right? So like I can see, but it's also very cute. And I mean, why would I want to try something different? So I actually might do a different set of glasses when we're leaving. We'll see. But yeah, we're at 13 minutes now. I'm going to wrap this part up. We're going to get in the car. We're going to go get some Brulala. We're going to go to Books A Million, and then we'll come home and we'll read. We've got a lot of stuff to read. I'm also really excited because I've been slowly, very proud of myself, adding regular books to the pile of books to unhaul. So hopefully I will have an unhaul video before the month is over. But before I really go for it, I want to read all of the Han Sama first volumes that I have and decide if those are going to go in the pile, which I want to be really, really firm. And if it feels like it needs to go. So that's what's going to end up happening. So yes, unhaul video coming soon. I'm looking forward to it. Blah, blah, blah. Also excited for this weekend because this weekend I'm going away for my birthday. Devin's taking me out. I can't wait. I just found out where we're going. We're going to Falls Church, Virginia, where there is a Tesso Life. I'm so excited. And then this particular restaurant, I don't remember the name. I'll try to put it up here somewhere, but I'm excited. And hopefully we go looking for bookies. And of course, we got the family vacation coming up soon. And you know I'm hitting multiple bookstores while I'm there. I'm hitting both of the big ass Second and Charles's in Virginia Beach and Newport News. I got to check out anything else going on around there for book clubs, for bookstores, comic stores. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. It is going to be interesting because, we're coming up on the anniversary of Hallie passing away, right back in the same place that we were, I think 2 or 3 days after I found out. So that's a lot. I think it's going to be hard going back, but I want to make sure that moving forward, I continue to have great positive experiences there. And I'm going to go to all the places again that Hallie suggested that we go to. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to be as positive as possible. I know I'm going to cry. I know I'm going to be emotional. I also know it's over a month away, so I don't know why. I think maybe I just need to prepare myself emotionally for it. So you might see some emotional Connie at some point, but it's okay. We're good. Grief, it never stops. It's here to stay, unfortunately, but at the same time, even though it sucks to know every year it will get easier, the realization that okay, but every year means another year without that person, that's hard, but it's okay. We're going to keep moving. I'm going to keep making positive associations with it. And we're going to just keep honoring her for all the places that she constantly told me to go to. We're going to keep going there. So we're going to have fun. But yes, now we're going to leave, like I said, and I'll see you guys there, and you'll see, hopefully, if I get anything. I'm looking for something at Books A Million, I think. Am I? Yeah, I think I am looking for something. You'll hear about it, but see you guys there. We're back, everybody. I got myself a delicious drink, And then I only left with volume 5 of Semantic Error. I don't remember if there's a 6th volume. I can't remember if the 5th one's the last one for the manhwa, but either way, I got it. I didn't see anything else that I wanted, but the stuff that I want comes out on the 24th. So obviously it's like a little less than a week away. Not a big deal. Okay, we're home, blah, blah, blah. I just finished A Ninja and an Assassin Under One Roof. This was from my Hansama box, and I think this was from last month, I think. Really cute. I don't see myself... Okay, I could see myself continuing this, but I don't see myself buying more volumes. So if I found a way to read this online, I probably would, because it was actually really cute, and I am interested to see like where their relationship goes. So I haven't decided if I want to sell this yet. I don't know yet, because it was really funny. So I may keep it. We shall see. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, this was very cute. Basically, you have this girl here, Satoko. She is from a hidden ninja village. She is not a good ninja. She's not a good ninja. She does have a ninjutsu that is actually pretty interesting when it comes into play with the rest of the story, but she's so bad that she basically just did the domestic labor in the village. But she's also really she's really naive, and she kind of goes along with what everybody else is doing, even though most of the time she doesn't know what she's agreed to do. So she ends up with a group of people who are escaping the village. She didn't know, or kind of didn't know that that's what was going on. She just kind of agreed and shook her head and like showed up, and then everybody just disappeared, and she was alone. And that's when she runs into, I can't remember her name. Ends up crashing at the apartment, Konoha. Okay, so Konoha is also an assassin. And the reason why I do feel like I want to continue is because I want to learn more as well about Konoha, because there's more to her than what we learned. And then their relationship develops over time, and I really like where it's going. But she ends up taking her in. But then we find out that this is not the first time this has happened to Satoko. This is like the 8th time. And every single time she leaves the village, she doesn't actually really mean to do that. And she doesn't necessarily want to leave, but then she comes back, and then everybody feels sorry for her. This is just pardon her. But this time she actually has somebody who's helping her, so she probably won't go back. But then she also runs into the person who led the charge to leave in the first place. So that's kind of cool. So you get like it just ended up being really fun. So now like I'm talking about it, I'm like, okay, this is actually really cute. So I don't know. But I could see myself continuing on with the story because it was fun. So we've got this deck here. So this is a Hansama pick. Even a replica can fall in love. Honey lemon. I'm sorry. Hope you're happy, lemon. What? I know why, but like lemon soda, girl. This is not lemon soda. That was for Hansama. Kingdom Volume 1. So here's the thing with this. I know for a fact I will not continue buying this because so I'm going to try to make it short, but I'm following all of the drama on Twitter going on with Viz Media and then BL Sublime, and how people were asking why they won't license anything more than 10 volumes. And they were like, well, I don't know, basically like BL doesn't sell. And it's like, yes, it does. Like research shows it does. And apparently like Given sold more than Free Run. And the people on TikTok were confused. And it's like, but a lot of people who love Free Run aren't reading it. They're watching it. So you're not going to have as many. I think this is just based off of the American market. I don't know. But someone made, like, many points were made, obviously. And they were like, it's ridiculous that they would say that, considering Viz licensed Kingdom, not in an omnibus. All of these will be in singles, but there's, I think, 76 or 78 volumes of this. So you're willing to put out 70 plus volumes of one series and not even do it in an omnibus, but you won't license longer BLs and possibly GLs as well. but like Seven Seas, Kodansha. I'm sure that there's another, I'm sure there's another publisher or whatever that is doing like more than 10 volumes of like romance, and it's crazy. So anyway, that was my tangent to say, like, I'm absolutely not going to continue to buy this after knowing there's going to be 70 plus volumes. That's just too much. So if I end up liking this, I will continue to read it on the app, but I don't know. We'll see how I'll like this. But yeah, I know for a fact that I will probably not be keeping this, and I know for a fact I won't be buying it, because hell fucking no. I'm sorry, that's a lot. Okay, I don't have a single thing. Yes, I do, bitch. What the fuck am I talking about? One Piece, hoe. But even then, all of the first, like, box set that would have been the box set of One Piece, I actually had that as omnibuses. So One Piece has omnibuses, girl, and that's over 100 volumes. Either way, I know for a fact I won't be keeping this, and I won't be buying it anymore. But we'll see if I end up liking it. This is another Hansama pick. I forgot about that. Forgot about you. I have high hopes for this one. I really, really do. But yeah, trying to get less volumes here, because I'm at least some is in there too. I think one or more is in there. Anyway, I want to get this stack down to get into everything else. But we will see. I'll be back. I just wanted to update us on this guy, because this wasn't so bad. But I want to get chips and salsa, so I'm gonna have my little snacky to the side. I got my little thing for my snacks, and I'm really excited. So I'll see you guys in a sec, and we're gonna have some more reading done. Welcome back, everybody. It's 10 o'clock at night. I have read quite a bit of things. Very proud of myself. So interestingly enough, these three were things that Devin picked. I made him pick a number of the amount of stacks, and then from those stacks, individual things. So starting with Girl Crush, this was a perfect pick because I had already had this on my like StoryGraph TBR, basically, because I had planned to read it when I first got it. Every time like I take a while in between reading these volumes, as soon as I pick it up, I'm like, oh my God, I love this story. So I know that I'm like really excited that I have volume 5 and I hope that I don't wait too long in between, but man, I love this story. I can't remember if I've seen that this is going to be getting a anime, but I just know it's going to be fantastic. We're still following our main three girls. They had to switch some things up. They're working together better every day, basically, and they're becoming a real solid group, which I really like. I think the next thing we'll see in volume 5 is if they pass their evaluation and like where they rank for the evaluation. And I'm so sorry to be yawning in your face like this. I apologize. But yeah, then I read Two Guys at the Vet Clinic. I think I'm actually going to sell this. I don't think I'm going to keep this because I don't see myself rereading it. It was cute, but it's certainly not my favorite. But yeah, it's basically about these guys that work at a vet clinic. This guy had a crush on him. He kind of inspired him to get into working as a vet. He has feelings for him. It finally gets revealed. It's a very awkward dynamic. And then I didn't even really understand if at the end they end up together or not. I don't know. It wasn't like, to me, it wasn't made very clear, but maybe because I'd kind of like lost steam with it. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'll reread the ending one more time and see, what I think. But not bad, but not the best thing I've ever read. Okay, as I said, I was going to reread Natsume Wants to Be Trained before I got into Natsume Wants to Blossom. Thank God I did, because I did not remember anything about this. I did not. I forgot that it was a story about Natsume. Basically, so Natsume, he was broken up with his boyfriend. His boyfriend basically said something along the lines of like, having sex with you is no fun, right? It just doesn't do it for me. And obviously that really hurt him. But like the other aspect of that is like the type of intimate, like there was no intimacy where his partner was trying to make him feel good. So yeah, he wasn't really into it because it wasn't like there was nothing there, right? Was lacking any passion, right? So he decides that he's going to make a plan to get back at his ex. He's going to become very, very good at sex. And then he's going to wrangle his ex back in and then be like, fuck you. And, yeah, basically reject him. So he rents a call boy and he ends up finding out that the call boy is actually his daytime housekeeper, Co. Right off the bat, it's hot, it's passionate, it's everything that you would want to see. He is an experienced lover. He's the top call boy, mind you. But obviously what's going to end up happening is feelings will develop, feelings will grow, and that is essentially what happens. So they are just, dude, he becomes so infatuated with Natsume, teaching him, but obviously his feelings start to grow and it becomes more than infatuation. They both grow to have feelings of love for each other, which I really, really liked. Again, their scenes were very passionate and very sensual, which was really, really, really nice to see, especially because like that's what it was missing for Natsume. When he finally gets to confront his ex, he doesn't go through with the rest of his plan for revenge. He just wants to say, hey man, you hurt me. What you said was really awful. Also, I'm sure it didn't feel good that I clearly was not enjoying myself, so it felt like a rejection to you. Very mature of you. And everything ends really well here. But of course, we have a second volume, which I was really happy to see. And quite frankly, let's get a third one in here. Why not? This is freaking good, okay? Kind of introducing a rival, not really. I really, really like this dynamic, especially because we got to know a little bit more about Natsume. His childhood friend starts coming around again. He has been overseas for many years. Basically the last time his friend was in town, Natsume was with his ex. So he's got to give him the rundown, explain who Ko is, and blah, blah, blah. So his friend, I think his name is Kurumi, he is a smoker. So when he's in Natsume's space, during the times when Ko isn't there because he starts a new job, the smell of smoke lingers. This is where the first, okay, we should have been communicating trope comes in. So he obviously is very busy with work. Natsume is trying to be more assertive and take the initiative to have sex and initiate sex more, and that's making him feel like, okay, why is he doing that? And also, why is there's smoke linger in the air? I know he's been with someone. Why won't he tell me? Because every single time he asks him, oh, what did you do today? He's like, oh, nothing, I just did work. Ugh. It's interesting that this is like a 40-year-old man, because you would think, just say you were with your friend. You don't have to introduce them immediately, because that was his whole thing. He was like, well, I want to introduce you guys when I feel more okay. You'd think though the common sense would kind of work its way in here, and you would realize okay, he's not bothered by the smell of smoke, clearly, but why not just tell him, oh, I met my childhood friend? Just a miscommunication for no fucking reason, girl. Just open up your mouth and say what's going on. Granted, sure, he could have said something too, but he's very thrown off by this situation. And luckily, everything gets resolved. But I really, really, really liked when we saw the background of him with Kurumi, or at least, I'm sorry if I don't have his name right, but his best friend. When they were growing up, they met in elementary school. So cute, their little chibi forms. And just over the years, they just were like this. Eventually in high school, Natsume has a rumor spread around the school that he is gay. He doesn't confirm or deny it, but he basically just stays silent. Someone leaves him a piece of paper that says, I support you. And he has an emotional response, obviously. And then he ends up with his best friend, and his best friend's like, you know what? I might get a girlfriend when you get a boyfriend, and let's go on a double date. And it's just so amazing and so nice, and so like exactly what you would want out of a situation like that with your friend, to not treat you any differently because there's absolutely nothing wrong with you liking boys. There's just not. There just simply isn't. So I really, really love the fact that he has such a great friendship with him. And then we see that not only was his best friend there for him, but Natsume was there for his best friend. And it's just so beautiful. And I love their friendship. And I like what we saw at the end. But yes, I would like a third volume because, quite frankly, I need to see more. I love them. I love this dynamic. I want to actually see them on the double date with the friend. It was just so lovely. And I love how at the end, Mamita's like, I'm so glad I got to write a sequel, but this one was hard because I really don't like the rivals in BL. But I love the way that they did it. It was just so cute. Okay. And lastly, the other thing I got into, I'm almost done, I guess, with part 1 of Ghost Camera by Darcy Coates. So I started that. It was really cool because the introduction basically explains that Ghost Camera was a novella. And eventually, I guess that was released, and then fans reached out to her publisher and were like, oh my God, we would love to see more of this or whatever. So she ended up breaking out, this old novella and adding more to it, revising it, turning into a longer book. From what I understand, looking at the chapters, I'm listening to it, I'm pretty much done with the Ghost Camera initial story, and it looks like there's going to be 3 or 4 extra stories that will still probably have something to do with the Ghost Camera, but will not be the same main story of the 2 girls. But I will say this, very, very, very cool premise. Basically, our main character, oh shit, what is her name? The other girl's name is Bella, girl. I don't remember, forgot everybody's name. My bad. Anyway, you got 2 main female. Bree, that was her name. The friend's name was Bree. Siobhan? Was that her name, Siobhan? I don't remember. The main character's name, I don't remember her name. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to put it on the screen. But we'll just call her Siobhan because I like that name. Siobhan is at her friend's wedding. She's trying to get the perfect picture, and I guess they're taking it at on a damn fucking peninsula with a fucking lighthouse. So she breaks into the fucking lighthouse, goes up, takes a fucking picture, but then she sees a dusty ass old Polaroid camera up there, and then she's like, "Let me take a photo." Now you know what? This is a really tough one because I feel like I think that would tempt anyone to try it out. Because the average person doesn't just have a fucking Polaroid camera around, and there's a nostalgic feeling to it that it's like, I would want to take a photo too. So she takes a photo initially with her digital camera, and then she takes a photo with this dusty, crusty ass Polaroid. And when she comes downstairs from the fucking lighthouse, the fucking groundskeeper's like, "Hey, don't go in there. Some kid died in there." And she was like, "Oh, hell, what the fuck? What if this thing is his?" She still keeps it. I don't know why the fuck you would do that. You fucking have a camera that might have belonged to a dead child. Who am I? I mean, who am I to even judge? Because guess what? My ass would have gotten caught up with the fucking camera myself. Who knows? So she looks back at that fucking picture later, and she sees ghosts in the bitch. Okay, and then she goes to her friend Bree, and she's like, "Bree, look at this shit. Are you seeing ghosts like me?" And she says, "Yes, girl." They keep taking pictures, okay? And I'm about to give the whole story away. I'm sorry, I'm a little high, so I want to talk about it, but I'm trying to keep on track. So yeah, they're steady taking photos with this fucking Polaroid camera, seeing these fucking ghosts everywhere. And Bree stressed me out, okay? Bree had broken up with her boyfriend. She clearly is the very extroverted friend, and very sassy, very, very, very sassy. She scared me a little bit. So basically they're taking photos. They see these fucking ghosts. At first, the ghosts are like just existing, you know, out there. But then the more pictures they take in certain areas, the more the ghost's face turned towards the camera. Like they're actually noticing her. That is giving me chills to say that out loud. Okay, it was already scary to read that. Listening to it, reading it, like you see that happening. I'm scared sitting here in my seat. Okay, I'm actually scared now. I don't even actually want to keep talking about it because I'm going to have nightmares. And we watched a very scary movie last night called Terrified. When I tell you, yeah, I was terrified. Thank you very much. Perfect title for the movie. Okay. We're still going to go. I'm going to keep talking. So these fuckers start looking at him, right? And they're getting closer. Okay. Bree is like, you know what? We need to call somebody about this. We need to call some paranormal shit. They call some man. He's like, oh, hey, how can I help you? And, is the item that you have a haunted house or it's a haunted item? And Bree's like, it's a haunted item. It's a camera. And the man is like, break the shit, burn the shit, destroy the shit. And don't fucking call me again. I can't help you. Click. Bree, her attitude towards that really had me frustrated because it's like her first reaction is to get mad and think, I don't even know what her reasoning was. Why wouldn't you take that seriously? If we are seeing ghosts in pictures, why would you, why don't you just take what he said? Like, take his advice. I would have done that immediately. They call another lady. The lady's like, oh, I don't really specialize in that, but I have a suggestion. Call this person. It's the man who just hung up on them. So it's clear all roads lead back to this man who already gave them really good advice. Destroy the bitch and stop taking fucking photos. Well, they keep taking photos, girl. Why? And then Siobhan gets a fucking scratch on the back of the neck. Guess what? These ghosts are coming for her ass. And they're already here, basically. They finally, it gets crazy, girl. Like, the ghosts are now, they're grabbing her, bruising her, leaving marks on her. So they drive over to the man's house, barge in there, and they're like, look, okay, I went on Reddit, and I saw the forum about you helping the chick. And basically the whole thing was, he had dealt with someone in the past who had a ghost camera situation. I think the first person died immediately. And then the second person, they were like, okay, let's try to communicate with the ghost. And it didn't work. It still killed the girl. So he was like, that's why I don't fucking deal with the shit, because y'all will just die. Well, they tried to hold a fucking seance for it. And it's like, these fuckers are coming. And he's like, girl, I didn't know you were this far gone. You're fixing to die. The ghosts pop up out of nowhere, trying to rip her soul out the shit. He tries to protect him. He gets stabbed in the chest by ghost fingers. Bree and Siobhan get in the fucking car, get the hell out of there. But the ghosts now, they're coming. Like, you're going to die. Because the whole thing is, like, basically he says, initially, if you would have just taken one picture, you might have been okay. But the more photos you take, basically, ghosts exist. They aren't necessarily interacting with us. But once you use the camera, that basically, it's almost like the flash is turning on them so they can see you. And once they start to see you, they don't need the camera anymore. They're just going to see you within, it's like the veil between worlds is gone. That is so scary. My stomach hurts talking about this. It's so freaky. So yeah, so basically, there's no running away. Shit, they try. The fucking camera's in the car. They fucking get in a car accident. The fucking ghosts are there, bitch. I mean, ready to kill them. Kill them now. Who knows if the man is alive back at the house? Well, guess what? That little boy who died, he ends up somehow ghost realmish breaking the camera. So where I'm at basically is the end, but not the end. And I didn't finish the chapter. So who knows? These bitches might die anyway. But basically he broke the camera, so he destroyed it. Maybe that is how they can live, because a ghost has to, I don't know, the ghost who initially blah, 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 blah has to break the shit. I don't know. But I'm scared. Okay. I am going to try to finish that chapter or that part of the story. Because I don't know. But I've just been turning so many scary things on. What did I just watch? I just watched something else that scared the shit out of me. Oh, girl, I watched The Power. This shit scared me. But this was actually a really good fucking movie, I must say. Nice, like, nice jump scares. But I think the moral of the story was pretty, like, intense. I figured it out pretty quickly, but that's okay. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, get into that. Get into that and get into Terrified, because that shit scared me. Oh my God. And this is like 2020. I mean, look at that. 2021, 5.5 out of 10. I think that's a pretty good score. Terrified. That shit was in 2018. Girl, I thought that shit was, respectfully, made in like the 80s. I was like, I know this shit is going to scare me because the music is scary. And, to be quite honest, I feel like modern or some recent horror, the music just doesn't, like bring out the dread in the core of your body. Oof, those kind of movies, oh my God, those will sit with you. But anyway, I'm going to be retiring to the bedroom. I don't think I'm going to get into these two again. I had started Dear Door Volume 2. I didn't make it very far. I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this. And then I started Toshiro-kun, Why Are You Like This? So this was actually originally a pick that Devin had. He had picked the first Natsume Mamita manga. This was on in it, but I don't know. I kind of lost steam with this one. So I said, you know what? Let me just pick this one up. I'll do it. I'm going to get into these tomorrow. I have one more day off before I go back to work, since we have President's Day off. So, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have fun. Sorry to yawn again. But I want to read stuff on my iPad, my Kindle, and I want to get into Deadline again. I actually did a really good job. I finally made it to the halfway, a little bit over the halfway mark. I just sat down at work, I think on Saturday, when I had time between my shifts and on my break, and this is the only thing I read. And I made it pretty far. And I'm telling you, like, I hate when I take too long of a break between reading this, because this is such a good book. This series is so freaking good. I mean, this one, the action is just nonstop. It's crazy. It's crazy that I don't remember everything as well, because it's almost like a book I've never read before. It's still 5 stars up. But anyway, yeah, I want to get back into this as well. But yes, I've got a few things that I want to read. We'll check back in tomorrow. Hopefully I will have gotten pretty far on Death Camera and whatever else. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, today is Thursday. I can't remember if we talked yesterday. I'm sorry if we didn't. We might have. I might have talked about some stuff that I was reading. But I finally have finished Toshiro-kun, Why Are You Like This? I started this Monday, I think it was, or some night, maybe Tuesday, I don't know. And yeah, we did talk about that, because Devin picked this one out. I started it, but he also picked Natsume Wants to Be Trained. And because I wasn't totally feeling this at first, I went ahead and just read Natsume Wants to Be Bloomed or whatever. Finally picked this up and finished it. It was very, very funny. I really enjoyed this. I didn't know at the beginning if I would want to continue on with this, but I do think that I want to continue on with it. I just think it's very, very cute. Toshiro-kun, Why Are You Like This? Volume 1. Is it because you're a member of the Manga Research Club? Is it because you're obsessed with a certain rhythm game? Is it because your family's filthy rich? Is it because you're awkward AF? I don't know the reason, so tell me, Toshiro-kun, why are you like this? It's a bit of a love story. It's slowly kind of building. And I like it. It's based in college, which I really do enjoy. Basically, Toshiro and some of his other friends are in a manga research club. Ebihara is friends with like the main dude who I guess is like the leader of the manga research thing, they knew each other in high school. So when they end up at the same college, he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to hang out with my friend. I'll join his thing. Tashiro's there. Tashiro ends up kind of having a crush on Ebihara. It's really funny. You'd think that, because like I feel like when I see this dynamic in other situations, it's sometimes the person who likes the other one is maybe pushing up on them a little bit too much. But honestly, Tashiro isn't like that. And the weird instances, or the instances where they're like a little bit like closer than maybe someone might like, is sometimes brought on by Ebihara. And as soon as he found out that Tashiro liked him, it was kind of like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. But then now he's like, well, why do you like me? Oh, well, what if we kissed? And personally, I think that everybody should ask that question. More people should be asking, what if we kissed? And then they do it. That's what I say. Do it more, especially for me and where I can see. And I don't care who you are. I want to see it. Let's go. But I'm liking it. I'm liking this dynamic. I like the other guys in the manga research club. I think it's going to be really fun to read. So I'm excited about this. Something else that I got into, and I'm really proud of myself because I'm making better headway. I'm basically at the 70% way mark of the reread of Deadline. So much stuff I forgot. I know I've been saying that over and over and over again, but seriously, I read this one time, and I think I started the first book in 2015 and then finished everything the very like start of 2016. Like I devoured this trilogy when I first read it. It is so good. I recommend it so freaking much. Please read this. I like it so much. But something just happened that I totally forgot happened. Some people hook up. Forgot about the instance of why it makes it awkward, but I just love this book so much. Like basically, I'm going to try not to give anything too much away, but if you don't want to know, skip. Here's the flashing hands. When the flashing hands come back, that's when it'll be over. But I'll try to put something up, to explain or whatever. Like, hey, we're moving. We're not talking about the spoilers. So the whole point of book one was the After the End Times group, Sean, George, Mahir, Mahir's in London, but Buffy. So the main three, Buffy, George, and Sean, are following the campaign trail of someone who is running for office. And this is during, well, I mean, not even during, it's kind of years after the dystopian situation of like zombies basically being created, right? And the tides are kind of changing on how people want to deal with the zombie problem. And it's so interesting because the person that they're following is Republican, but he seems a little bit more progressive. And the person who was running against the man who eventually becomes president was like your typical like extremist Republican, right? So something keeps happening along the campaign trail. Someone is coming at After the End Times, and the first person to go is Buffy. And then we find out that Buffy has been working with someone who's been trying to sabotage this thing the whole time. George and Sean and there was one other dude, I forget about him, but he came on after the fact. Sean and George are determined to bust this shit wide open because they're journalists, girl, okay? And while they do end up busting some shit open about what could possibly be going on in the sabotage, here's the big spoiler. George ends up dying. George has had a mutation. So through all of this with Kellis Amberly, that's the thing that turned people into zombies. Some people developed a mutation where the virus that's basically within everyone, kind of like, remember in Walking Dead where everybody, like if you die, you will instantly be turned into a zombie. You can't just die of natural causes and, oh, it's okay. It's because you weren't bitten by a zombie. No, it's in you and you will then transition to a zombie. In this story, it's the same thing, except really anything can like kick it off. You don't even necessarily have to be bitten by a zombie. Something, you can be amplified in some way. And for some people, they have this mutation where the virus did amplify in them. So you might have some characteristic that makes you look like a zombie, or when you're getting a blood test to prove like if you are a zombie or not, it shows that you're not quite clean, but you're not fully amplified, right? So George ends up getting stuck by a needle that has the virus in it. So what should happen, and what has happened throughout the story in the first book, is if that happens, you are going to amplify and you're going to be turned to a zombie, and you don't get to live. You are killed. So Sean has to kill her. What we find out in this book, after George has been dead for like a few months, it's an even bigger conspiracy than what we were kind of thought was just a conspiracy in the first book. Now what has ended up happening is, the truth behind this is that people who have the mutation are actually the key to basically curing people. But as we know, in a capitalist society, we can't have that, right? Shout out to the man. I can't remember where that man is from. France, maybe? That one dude who fucking cured some shit, and people are shitting on him. And you know we're not about to get that in America. You know we're not about to get that cure in America. Ugh, I can't stand it sometimes. Anyway, capitalist country, they can't have that because they're selling all the stuff to make it so these people still have money. The government's in on it. I'm not going on a tangent. Don't want to go on a tangent. All right. So yes, we're cracking the shit wide open, and guess what? These people are the fucking possible cure for this whole shit. But interestingly enough, the people who have the mutation always end up dying. But mysterious situations. And the truth is, and now we don't find this out until the end of this. So this is even bigger spoiler than I just said, okay? So now Sean has to accept the fact. So now he finds out that she was stuck with the Kellis, like more of the virus. She was going to amplify. But what we now know, because he's dealt with some people who are like on the fringes of the CDC and stuff, she would have gotten better. She wouldn't have turned into a full-on zombie. So he killed his sister. Now, granted, I have to, say, like, that's not his biological sister. That's his, like, adopted sister. It's a whole thing. But this really, really affected him because him and George were like this. People almost called them twins, even though they're not twins and they're not related, But that has really, really fucked him up. And throughout this whole book, he hears George in his mind because that's the only way he could deal with still living, even though she is gone. Very, very sad. Very, very sad book. But guess what, bitch? At the end of this is the big one I was talking about. George is alive. Now, I can't quite remember. I think that she was cloned, and that's the thing. So, like, George was cloned because cloning happens in this. And if you've read Parasite by Mira Grant, it also has to do with cloning, which I really like. It's so cool. But yes, bitch, we're about to blow the fucking lid off the bitch and really take down these fuckers. Hell fucking yeah, that's what I want to see. Okay, flashing hands, the spoiler review is over. Basically, the too long didn't read of the whole thing was, we're dealing with the conspiracy going on from the first. The conspiracy from the first book has evolved into something so much bigger, and it's a bigger government conspiracy in Deadline, to the point that basically the government and rich people, as I said, not sounding too different than what the fuck is going on right now, is keeping the public in fear and without a possible, like any money that's going to research, it's not really being used to research for a cure, because then where's the money in that? I could go on a further tangent. I'm getting myself mad just thinking about it, but that's for a different time. Okay. They're breaking, the case here. They're exposing the shit that's going on. Third book is going to be so good. Obviously, I'm rereading the third book, but I think I mentioned this like a few weeks ago. I didn't know that there was another book that came out. Now, it takes place years after, and I don't think it has Sean and George in it. So, Sean and George might be in it in passing, but they're not the main characters. So I am actually doing this reread and even more excited about the fact that I'm going to have a new book to read. Oh, can't fucking wait. Very excited. I've made a lot of progress, and that makes me happy. Now, to the best news that I've received all fucking year. God damn it. Oh Oh, I forgot this was on Tappy Toon. Lord. Okay, I'm sorry. Get back. I came on Tappy Toon to unlock the episode from Wednesday of the Rotten. I can't understand why I'm still reading this, but season 2 is over. And what did I find? Come to find out, Hard Boiled Love is back, bitch, on the 25th, a few days after my fucking birthday. God is real. New photo. Are you fucking kidding me? The side stories are here, bitch. As you can see, I unlocked every single thing up on here. I can't... Oh, hold on. Wrong. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. Come to find out, there's this fucking side story. A few days after my birthday. As you can see, I've unlocked everything that wasn't free to me. I am so happy. Look at the new photo. I don't know what's going on here. Let me get a better look. Let me get close myself. Something seems... okay. Basically, I'm rereading this for the third time. I'm going to do that. Now, is Devin taking me away for my birthday for a nice romantic birthday weekend? Yes. I am definitely going to be present for all those things. But when it's time to fucking read, Connie's reading, okay? And I am restarting Hard Boiled Love. Not today, but I will definitely, maybe I will. Who knows? I'm restarting this. Okay, I'm so freaking excited. What are the things that I said that I needed to know? Okay, 1, I need you to wrap up. Well, no, actually, 1, please don't tell me they're not doing their BDSM kinky lifestyle anymore, because that's what it seemed like at the end, how they were like kind of presenting it. But I don't want that, because obviously we know that they are made for each other. They are locked in, and they need to be smacking, pinching, I don't know, squeezing, spanking, slapping, tying up. Think of any word, okay? Some things I can't even say. They need to still be doing that, because even though there's more to their relationship, that's what brought them together, okay? So they best be still doing kinky shit, okay? That's the first thing. Is everything okay? I need to know that everything's okay with them, because it seemed like, yes, it was, but like, I need the confirmation, because you didn't really confirm with me that everything was fine. Okay, the last thing I really saw, and the thing that is etched in my mind, is him cutting himself in the shower and almost, sacrificing himself so Hwa-Young wouldn't die. Hwa-Young being totally broken. Totally fucking broken. Lost. And then they fucking take down the fuckers. They take down the fucking American dude. Hell yeah. And then they kind of go off in that. No, I need more than that. You need to supply me with more information. That's the first thing. Wait. Yeah, is everything okay? Third, what's going on with the stalker? I need to know that the stalker received the justice. No, I'm sorry, not the justice. I need justice to be served against the stalker who was fucking up things with my dudes, with my sons. Okay, Hwa-Young and Yuan. I need to be made assured that. Damn, the DVD player went off. I was talking too long. I need to be made assured that he is going to jail. He could die for all I care. I don't really care. And also, these friends need to get something. People, if y'all want to be together, okay, be together. But stop bothering my sons. Stop bothering them. You're pissing me off. What happened to the guy who was the boss who was trying to push up on Hwa-Young? Was he sentenced to death? Let's hope so, because I can't stand his ass either. At the very least, put him in prison. Okay, at the very least. Because obviously this isn't the first time he sexually harassed someone. Damn it. And I don't like it. Lock him up. I'm tired. So there's that. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that this is back. I needed this. I did. I really actually did. Mentally, I did. Emotionally, I do. I'm just so happy. Oh my God. I mean, I think, I feel confident that with a picture like that, yeah, everything's going to be okay. And Connie's not going to have to be sad anymore. Not that I am sad, but like, I'm sad that this ended on a cliffhanger like that. But I'm going to say this, you know what? 2020, its side stories came back looking better than ever. I just unlocked some more. We get to see the pink haired dude. So, you know, maybe in the end, everything is going to be okay with everything that I like. Okay, Backlight should be coming back anytime soon, please God. I didn't realize You Are So Lovely came back. There were so many things on You Are So Lovely. And You Are So Lovely really confused me because I was like, okay, where are you? Oh, God, I'm so sad I had to delete all of mine. Let's see, hold on. I love you still. Hold on. Now I gotta be careful with You Are So Lovely because you see a uncensored wiener like immediately. All these special episodes. Okay. Hold on. Let me try to cover it. So all these special episodes. Well, okay. I'm sorry. Actually, it's just one. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. Accidentally hit that. Okay. So there was the creator's note, and then there was like 2 special episodes. Where the hell did these other things come from? I did not see them. I feel like they showed up out of nowhere. So very, very, very happy. Also, the other freaking, did I talk about Yes Ma'am? Can't open that one up either. I kind of liked Yes Ma'am. The special episode was not bad, but I am disappointed that season 1 is done. Like, I like special episodes, but if what you're giving me is a few special episodes, and then I'm going to be blessed with season 2 immediately, then everything's gonna be good. But don't make me sad. Please don't hurt me like this. Anyway, let me get off here. Start cleaning up a little bit. Devin's cooking dinner when he gets home. Can't wait. I think we're gonna have homemade, by the way, homemade pot pie. Oh, he does a pot pie so good. You probably think pot pie, really? Yes, Devin can make a pot pie like crazy. Delicioso. 10 stars. Okay, I love him. I love that man so much. Anyway, let me stop rambling. I got a lot of energy apparently. I'm gonna keep reading. Who knows what? Because girl, I reorganized this yesterday. I did all the BL like this. The first in a series here, and then next in a series here. And I still got that shit down there. And then I separated the freaking Hantama stuff. And those were just some things I wanted to read. And then I had started Dear Door 2, but I don't know about Dear Door 2. Like, something about the way this started was kind of weird. But I'm going to finish it because I also started it with this. So, obviously, I have a lot of shit to read. Okay? Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. But you know what? We're having fun regardless. We're going to keep reading. We're going to keep having fun. And I'm excited. So yeah, I will talk to you guys again in a second. Hopefully a little bit later tonight. I will have read some more. I really keep saying I want to read more on my iPad. I have been so like not reading anything. And I'm disappointed in myself. So I'm going to seriously hunker down. Get on these damn apps I pay every month for. And read some fucking stuff on these damn apps. So that's what we're going to do too. I promise. Hello, everybody. We're back. I think I'm going to end it now. I think I've talked about a good amount of things. I think. And I still have a little bit more to talk about because I did read. I just finished Ghost Camera by Darcy Coates. That was good. So actually, I'll start there. So I listened to Ghost Camera on my Hoopla app. Really liked the narrator. I thought that was really great. Apparently, Ghost Camera started out as just Ghost Camera, the first initial story that you hear, but then, I think I talked about this before, but it's fine. But then Darcy Coates, like, people really liked that apparently, and then someone reached out to her to ask her to continue the book, but then it sounds like it kind of turned into like, okay, like, yes, we have this main story, this main novella, but we're gonna add a few more ghostly, you know, short stories in the mix, and there were some really, really good ones. Now I wish I had my iPad, but because I would tell you, because the chapters are the chapter names are what the novellas are. So first off, Ghost Camera was good. I liked the first story. I think it was really cool. It would have been cool if the whole story had been just ghost camera, but I feel like for making it a short story, I actually didn't mind it. The whole point is, oh, I told you this too. That's fine. Quick recap. Woman, she's at a wedding. She's trying to get the best vantage point for a photo. She goes at the top of a lighthouse that's on the property, finds a Polaroid camera that's clearly like old and has been used for a long time. She takes a snapshot. She takes a snapshot with it, views the photo later, and notices these things in the background. So it seems as though she's seen her first like ghosts within, right? She gets her friend involved in this. They start taking more fucking photos. That I think I do remember talking about it, because I was like, her friend was really pissing me off because her friend kept encouraging the picture taking, but then would get super mad when they're asking for help from someone. So like they end up calling somebody who's like a paranormal person, and they're like, hey, you know what? We've got this ghost camera, whatever, is picking up pictures of ghosts. The man on the other line, who everybody suggests is the best of the best, is like, stop, don't take any more photos, destroy the thing. She takes it as a challenge for some reason. So, you know, the friend really pissed me off. I'll just leave it there, but she really got me hot. Everybody almost dies, but then a ghost like saves the day, which was really awesome. But if that had been a longer drawn out story, or if somehow they made it but like another ghost camera appeared, that would be really cool if like all the stories have been ghost cameras. But it wasn't like that. There were a bunch of little stories. I can't remember all of them, because some, I wouldn't say they weren't good, but like some were like so much better than like the others. Like they stood out to me so much. So one was about a guy who he's a doctor in a hospital, and years ago these death birds started to show up all over the place. And basically, if a death bird was there, someone was about to die. So in hospitals, if a large group of death birds started to show up, everybody knew, okay, all hands on deck, something big is about to happen. I think one time there was like a fire, so they knew like, okay, a bunch of people are gonna come in here. Except, even though people are coming into the hospital, the birds aren't going away. So like hundreds of birds are in this fucking hospital, and everybody's like, oh shit, something's going down. Finally, the doctor, who's experienced like a bird situation before, realizes, oh, there's like enough birds that matches the amount of fucking people who work at the hospital, so we're all gonna die. Girl, that would scare the shit out of me. So then we get a flashback, and this is all spoilers, so I will have made sure to put that in the front, sorry. Then we get a flashback to when he was a kid, when these things first started happening, and nobody knew what the fuck was going on, okay? His parents like holed up in a house, and they knew like, shit, you know, we don't want them to go out like that, because apparently like you can die, like something really crazy might happen to you, but then the birds start to eat you. Hell no. His parents went to a cabin and were like, okay, we're gonna probably fucking die here. And they're just gonna burn everything down with them around it, except he got out before it burned, so he was fine. So he like has been sitting with that imagery of like, oh my God, you know, even if my parents like meant well, like they were gonna fucking kill me, and then now my parents are fucking dead. So he's really quick to act. He ends up saving, I think he does save his friend. If not, he at least gets her out, but he ends up surviving again. And it's like, oh damn, how many times is man gonna get in these situations? I don't know. I wouldn't want to be involved in that. Then there was a lady who was on a plane. Girl, now I'm getting scared. I'm hearing things. It's the middle of the day. I'm scared. I wish Devin was here. I'm scared myself. This was a really, really good book. Okay. So, woman's on a plane. She's traveling to a little destination wedding. She keeps making eye contact with this person who just is like, seems like very mysterious. She's like, I've never seen them before. Obviously when we're on a plane, a public plane, but she's like, just something about them. She was drawn to the woman, and she just kept thinking like, I wonder if they're a guest at this wedding, because there's other people on the plane. The fucking bride's parents are on the plane. She's like, oh, maybe like I'll be able to like get to know this person because they seem so interesting. Well, girl, something happens and the plane goes down. She's the only survivor, and that woman who she found so like interesting is there too. So basically what ends up happening is she's like, oh shit. At first, like, our main, like, the narrator is basically saying, like, I'm the only one here. I gotta figure out what the fuck is going on. But the other woman ends up finding her. She's in really bad shape. She's got one arm is gone. The other one, her fingers are broken. Need to get to the other half of the plane because it's split in half. So they were in the back part. The cockpit and everything is up along the mountain. So they're like, okay, we can get up there, we can radio, hopefully something's working, at least in the cockpit, and maybe we can see about at least like letting people know, like before anything, but before it gets too late, like, hey, this is going on. They leave a message on the plane at first that's like survivors and pointing to which direction they're going. Making their way, but like the girl is like, something feels weird, and then she looks back and she sees where they had written on the fucking side of the plane in the lipstick that it's kind of smudged where the arrow was going. She's like, no, what the fuck is going on? Also, it's snowing, okay? These are the things that are my fears, okay? I don't ever want to be in a plane crash. I don't want to be stranded in the snow. I don't want to experience hypothermia. That seems very scary. So many things are scary. But anyway, so they are making their way, and she's like, I hear something. What's going on? And the lady, you know, she's got one fucking arm. She's like, girl, eyes forward. Don't look back, okay? I'm telling you, don't fucking do it. But she steadies, gets to looking, and I'm getting pissed off because I'm like, how many times are you going to look back when she told you not to? So finally she's like, girl, I'm a researcher. What I think, because they don't name it, but I think it's I don't know how to say it right. Wendigo? I was just recently watching my DVDs of Supernatural, and that's it. It was giving Wendigo, I think. Oh, and not only that, it's the DVD, so it's the original soundtrack. And I was watching the episode with the Bloody Mary one, and Fall Out Boy. I totally forgot about Fall Out Boy. Was on this show, not on the show. Was in the soundtrack. Because, you know, on Netflix, they didn't buy all the rights to the music. So I'm like, I don't want to watch it on there if I'm not going to have the original soundtrack. What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, side tangent we didn't need to go on. Sorry. Anyway, so that's what I think the monster was, because it was using a voice that was almost human-like, but not quite. Like, it wasn't, like, it was trying to get it right a little bit. That's also scary. I absolutely find that frightening. Then she sees the fucking thing, and the way it's described is like that. That's reminding me what the things that I read sometimes. Anyway, we find out that the lady who's missing the arm, she's a researcher. She has been to this place a lot, and she's very familiar with the area. And she's like, I know what these creatures are. You do not want to pay attention to them because that makes them come at you more. And you need to like take the fear from a 10 down to like 1, girl, because that's gonna get them all enticed and all excited. But there's 2 different kinds. There are kinds that are really violent and are gonna come after you, but then there are ones that are just like, they will look at you from afar, and if they're not hungry, they don't really care. And you can tell the difference between the 2 because one has like white hair on it and the other one doesn't. Well, we're not seeing the ones with white hair, okay? We're seeing the violent ones. We're seeing the hunger ones. They get on the radio, hey, bitch, we're here. Please come and help us. And then they're like, well, we got to get the fuck out of here. So they're like, we're going to go back down the mountain. All this is taking place in a day, like in a few hours. So it's not like that bad. But it's like the plane goes down in the morning. It takes them half the day to get up the fucking mountain to where the cockpit is. Now they have to go back down the mountain, back down the side of the hill, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not side of the hill. That wouldn't take half a day. You know what I mean? They have to go back down because she's like, I want to go there. But then the fucking lady seems like she's dying. I mean, the blood loss is insane. I mean, how could you even survive? They're getting closer, but then things are coming. Okay, those things are behind them, ready to eat, consume. But they see the fuckers, not the fuckers. They see the fucking, they see the ambulance and everything in the distance. She's like, oh shit, we get to trucking, dude. We get to running. Except these fucking things are coming. That is giving me chills. I don't like that. Well, you know what's going to happen. The fucking main girl is like, dude, we're both going to make it. Okay, we're going to make it. But the other lady's like, we're not. And you know what? As long as one of us survives, That's what matters to me. So basically the main lady sacrifices herself so she can get help. But you know what the twist was? She was the white-haired monster, right? So because when the girl looks back, when the people come and they're like, is there anybody else? She looks back and she sees the white hairs like on the trees. So the only thing that I would be interested in now, and dude, I have the chills. My legs are prickling. I'm so scared and spooked. The only thing that we don't know is like, do they kill her? Do they kill the lady? I don't know. That's a good question. Not the lady. Do they kill their own kind? Or yeah, but basically what she figures out is she's like, oh, fuck. It all makes sense now because like, what are the odds that this woman would have survived like that? But then what she really finds out later is that that woman died. So that creature, I don't know, got a sense of what would make her comfortable to save her because she's the kind that was going to save somebody. So I don't know, she tapped into the psyche or some shit and she's like, okay, I'm going to replace this shit with her face or whatever. And then she just saved her. And you know what? Thank you. Thank you. That was exactly what I would want to happen because I wouldn't want to be in that situation. What was another one? Oh, damn. A few of them I can't quite remember, but the last one, oh my God. Okay, I know this is getting long. This is the last one I want to talk about. So this one is, Box of Something. I'll put the title up. So it's the final one. I think it's actually the second longest one after Ghost Camera, unless they're the same length. This one was fucking crazy. Okay, so woman and her young daughter, she's in elementary school. So what is that, like a 5-year-old? They move into a new house and they're just settled in. It's like 6 weeks they've been here. The daughter's like fully in school and shit, has friends. That's nice. And the mom is friends with a man who like, he's local to the place that they just moved to. And he is somebody who owns like a thrift store. So they still haven't fully unpacked the house yet. This is going to actually freak me the fuck out saying it out loud. Cause I was in my bedroom listening and I looked over my shoulder. Girl, I don't like that feeling. I really don't. I think I'm going to be, I can do it. Okay. I am scared. I am, but it was so good. Okay. So her daughter loses like a stuffed animal. They look everywhere for it. They can't find it. Eventually the guy's like, I think I have something that's like super close to it. It's newer. So it's not like if you present this stuffed animal, it's obviously not going to look exactly like the one that she lost because the other one she'd had for so long. She's like, oh, I'll take it, whatever. But she's still steady looking for the original thing. Then she finds a box of VH tapes. And you know what? I know this is a fantasy. This ain't real. But let me tell you, somebody in some type of universe has heard of The Ring, okay? And I'm not watching no fucking VH tape in a box, okay? Not only that, there's a fucking note in it that says, don't fucking watch this, please. Do it at your own risk, but you really shouldn't watch it, okay? And she does. She still puts the shit in there. And not only that, she has to go to her friend to get a VHS player to go back to her house and watch the shit, okay? Why the fuck did you do that? Why the fuck did you do that? You know, you gotta learn to leave well enough alone, because why would you do that? I'm not doing that. And I mean, maybe I would be rude, but I'd probably make somebody else want it if I didn't like them. But no, I wouldn't, because yeah. So she starts watching. There's like 5 tapes in there. She watches the first one. It's a woman. Something's going on. She's strapped to a damn chair. It's looking a little snuffish, if you know what I mean. Except she's getting trying to open her mouth. Teeth come out. Apparently those weren't her teeth. What? So obviously she's horrified. She's like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? The fucking daughter's upstairs screaming like, oh my God, mommy, da, 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 because the spirit has been unleashed. You just did the thing it said not to do, and now it's in the fucking house, ready to fucking kill everybody. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. Who am I? Okay, boom. Of course she's got to watch the second tape, even though the daughter's now drawing frightening images at school. She can't sleep. They're hearing shit. They're seeing shit. Now the second video, she sets something on fire, and in the video she sets a building on fire. There's clearly people in it, but I don't think that she saw the people. I think she just heard the people. Oh, y'all heard that? That was a fucking Amazon truck. So, you know, now something has been burned, and she's like, oh, well, I got to do more research because I guess we just, well, I mean, eventually she has to do it anyway. So it's fine. Slow down, Connie. What's going on? Okay. So she finds out, oh, this is like a fucking school that burned down in this little community. Only a few people remember it. Everybody fucking died. Then she watches the third tape. Lord of mercy. A man, instead of the woman in the video is like doing all this, right? A man is laid down on his back, an older man. The same woman fucks him up. Okay, she's cutting shit, slicing shit, hacking shit, bludgeoning things, I guess. And there's just a dead man there. And now the mom's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I've just witnessed, like, I know this is a murder, okay? This isn't just somebody in, you know, somebody's dead, I think. Okay. She calls the police. Useless, as usual, just because she happened to have a bottle of wine on the counter when, oh, and not only that, so they hear something in the fucking house, the child screaming. She's like, oh my God, you know, I saw some da-da-da. Police come, they don't do anything. Of course, they're like, oh shit, someone can drink wine. Okay, someone can drink wine. You need to really do your job and investigate, because once they get in there and they get in the little girl's room, there's a fucking handprint on the window. But guess what? That shit's on the outside. And then it's on the second floor. And the man, of course, is like, oh, you know, you just moved in not too long ago. Maybe it was the person who cleaned the gutters. I can tell you something. I get my gutters clean. Nobody's handprint is on the outside of the shit. Okay, why would anybody need to be smacking their head? No, because they're on the roof. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. I'm pissed. This isn't even a real story. They leave. They do nothing. Granted, she didn't show... Oh, that's right, because she was going to show them to him. But then the fucking spirit was like, told the little girl to get the damn tapes and bring them upstairs. Well, first of all, that would have been the first place I looked, because if I can't find them and I'm looking for the bitch, I'm suspecting foul play, and they might be in the one place I wouldn't think to look, the kid's room. Okay, we're moving forward. Now we're finding out. Yeah, the school fucking burned down. Everybody in that place died. That man who died, it's probably the guy who had an affair with a woman, and he didn't leave his wife for her, so they think they know him. Then you get into the lore of this woman, because the guy who she's friends with, who works at the thrift store, seems to kind of recognize her, and is like, she looks so familiar. And it's because, like, there are yearbooks there. So he's like, okay, let's look at the yearbooks, and they find her. Okay, but they don't find any information about her on the web. So what is really going on? They have to call the police again. They don't show up for 2 hours, even though now she's like installed cameras. She sees her in the woods looking, and the cops don't do anything. Another reason why I don't like cops. But when they go to searching some more, guess what? Chicken bodies everywhere, hanging from fucking trees. And guess what? They think it's the fucking lady who lives in the house. Why would I do that? Okay, I know I'm not from here, but why would I kill a bunch of chickens, put the shit in the trees, and then call you? Why would I call you to do that? I mean, I know some people sometimes do that, but not that specifically, but sometimes they call the police, you know what I'm saying? But that's not the point. Why would I do that? That makes me mad. So now the mom's like, I'm just totally fucked now. Okay, they think that I'm doing this, that I'm not being serious, and no one's gonna take me seriously, so I need to get the fuck out of here. So she is like, dude, help me get my fucking kid out of here. They find out that this girl, basically the woman in the videos, she was suffering from something, and her parents decided to put her in the school. Now, when it got burned down, it wasn't the school that like she was in. It was years later. But she was abused there by faculty, by students, and then eventually she was groomed by that man. And even though her parents tried to keep them away from each other, it didn't matter. And then when he didn't actually like follow through with anything he said he was going to follow through with, she killed him. And I think it was pinned on the parents. They fled, but those teeth in that girl's mouth were her parents' teeth, so she killed them. She may have even killed the man who bought the house and renovated it. We don't know yet, because it's like, why were the fucking tapes there? That came later. All right, they're trying to get the hell out of here, right? I know I'm telling you step by step everything that happens. I'm sorry. They're trying to get the fuck out of there. The mom is like, take the kid upstairs. Take the kid upstairs, get some shit, and then we're gonna get out of here. But then she's like, something's nagging at her, and she's like, you know what, let me watch that fucking tape, because there was something that the lady was doing in the tape that was like, I didn't know what that really was. She's spelling something with her fingers. So then she gets a fucking paper, traces the shit, she figures out, oh shit, I'm cracking the case now. And then she's like, I don't hear anything in the house. So everybody's gone. Okay, the daughter, the man, they're gone. She's like, oh shit. She gets a weapon and she's getting out of there. But she has to finally watch the last video. And I can't remember what happened in the last video. Was that the neighbor? Somebody else is killed. Oh yeah, somebody's in a box. That's right. Somebody's in a box. Clearly being tortured. And basically, in the end of the last video, she's basically saying, like, you took my home. So you already broke the fucking rule because you watched the shit. Now you broke the rule. Well, you kind of, before that, you broke the rule because you bought my house. But how was I supposed to know? I shouldn't be blamed for that. And I should be held to the standard of, how was I to know? You know what I'm saying? So she figures out, oh shit, there's some type of secret thing going on. So she runs out. And she's like, oh shit. She's at the edge of her woods and she sees the fucking cop car. Why are the cops here? Well, guess what? Those two cops who fucked her, you know, RIP to them, but I mean, you need to listen. They're murdered. Eyes gouged out. Lord. Then she finds out, oh shit, there's a basement. That's where the people are. She saves the friend. She saves the daughter. She defeats, kind of, the lady, except, so basically, like, she gets out, everybody's, like, fine, except the house burns down. And the good thing is that it couldn't be pinned on the mom. Well, obviously, we have 2 witnesses already, but, you know, police are dead now. Now we care. I mean, we saw somebody on the damn camera. But everybody else who showed up, like the paramedics, they saw her in the window, letting the flames take her. And, yeah, and that's how the short story novella, whatever, ends. And it was really, really good. So spoilers over, sorry about that. If you skipped all that, just to let you know, it was really good. There are some novellas in there that I liked more than others, but in general, I really, really, really liked it. Another banger, another win from Darcy Coates. I really liked that. I'm going on to another one because, you know, I just love me some Darcy Coates. Little break. I want to show you guys the new perfume I bought for myself. Oh, mailman's outside. Okay, so look at this. This is perfume. Boop. What in the hell? It smells amazing. I'll put like the notes and stuff up. I'll put the notes and stuff somewhere on the screen. But obviously I had to get it based off of the look because it's definitely pretty. I mean, who the fuck is doing it like this? Not many people. I don't know many. But I got it because I don't remember. Besides the look, I mean, that was the first, really, that's all I really needed. I didn't really care what it smelled like, to be honest. But I can't tell you exactly what it is. It's definitely like a vanilla tobacco-y thing. My sister says I always smell like tobacco. No, I'm sorry. My sister says I always smell like vanilla. I always smell sweet. Even though, like, a lot of the perfumes I have don't have vanilla in it. Well, some of them don't. Like, I have a pistachio one. Let me tell you, getting some marshmallow pistachio, it's so good. I have a lot of Victor and Rolf dupes. A lot of those smell more like floral than vanilla. I mean, it is a plant. I guess you could say, oh no, vanilla doesn't smell like a plant. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like a flower. But you know what I mean. But I also have Victor and Rolf. My mom was really nice. She got me and my sister Victor and Rolf perfumes for Christmas. Yeah, I've got a lot of nice, like, and then I have a lot of Arabic perfumes. So if you want to get into some delicious smelling perfumes, you have to get the Arabic ones because they smell so good. I promise you. And this one, it just smells so freaking good. There's another scent. So it's like the same packaging. It's not garnet though. I'll put the picture up. I'm interested in that one, but the only reason why I got this one now was because it was on sale. It was priced at like $70. That's actually not that bad when you think about like other perfumes out there, you know, these like Tom Ford ones and shit. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait. And then it went on sale and I was like, well, I'm gonna get it now. And then I got another dupe, which won't be here until I think after my birthday, which is fine. And that one is a Tom Ford cherry dupe. I don't have anything that's like cherry, so, and I love a cherry. I love a dark cherry. Anyway, let's finish this girl off, okay? Did I read anything else? I don't think so. Yeah. After we spoke that last time, I read, so this is the crazy thing. I'm thinking, did I read this? Was I saving volume 2? Because it seemed familiar, but then so much of it didn't. So I'm thinking, did I even read volume 2 last time? So I reread, I don't know which one. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all, volume 2, which led me into volume 3. I really, really like this series. I love the green. I love the pop of green. It's so cool. I mean, just the way people are drawn, their eyes, the pops of green sometimes. I mean, it's so moody and just perfect. And just the way that the scenes are, it's just so cool. And even though I did not grow up in a record store, like, it does remind me so much of myself when I was like younger, very gloomy, all in black, you know, couldn't tell me anything, but also weirdly shy. But yeah, like they're both listening to music that like I loved when I was younger. So it's just so fun. But like you're seeing I think the thing I like the most about this is that there's still a will they, won't they to their relationship. Like you as the audience are like, hello, you like each other. Somebody make the move. But they're young, you know, they're 16. I think everybody can think back to when they're 16 and the things that they wish that they had done, but they didn't do, or the things that if they could go back and change, they maybe wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? So it's just so like nostalgic and nice to read this. I love it so much. And I love the way, like, I love all the friends that we're slowly gathering. It reminds me so much of My Dress Up Darling and the way that like you have these really fun friends, a lot of gals, you know what I mean? And everybody's just really cool and supportive of each other. So I feel like maybe I didn't finish volume 2. Maybe I started and didn't finish it, but I remember volume 1 ending with them supposed to be going to a concert together, but something's clearly going on with Aya's friend, who can tell that like she's getting close to someone. She doesn't know like exactly what's going on. So when Mitsuki is kind of confronted with Aya's real friends, you know what I mean? They're obviously everybody is her real friend, but you know what I mean? Like the insecurity of like, I'm new, these are her established friends. Like, you know, I don't really fit in with these people. She's like, I'm just going to give the ticket to her and they're going to go do their thing. And that's where it picks up in volume 2. So I remember that, but I don't remember anything else. But no, I had to have, because I remember Kana, the woman who dates her uncle. So I don't know, I guess it doesn't stick with me. I'm sorry about that, but I definitely read this because I remember that. Then this one, we're segueing into now people are separating. Certain people might be leaving. Certain people are heartbroken. Certain people are, you know, possibly going to do some bigger things that take them away from other people. Mitsuki is now fully embraced who she is and isn't like hiding who she really is when she's at school, which is making her very popular, which is making Aya insecure. So again, bringing you back to those feelings of when you were a kid. So I still really, really like the story. I have no idea when volume 4 comes out. I feel like I remember people online on Twitter talking about how it's like the physical public, like the buying it physically, it's taking so long when the chapters are already like released in Japan, I think. I could be wrong, but just basically people were like annoyed. And this was like also talking about like the whole piracy conversation and like sites like RIP to Beto, we miss you. Stuff like that, you know, the stuff that you can finally keep up with because it takes so long for, I don't know. We're not getting into that whole thing, but either way, I still like it and I would suggest it. And lastly, I read volume 2 of Dear Door. Kind of lost me a little bit. I don't know, the way this started, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Well, we started off with some sex, basically. But I was like, I don't remember us meeting this little creature. So I felt kind of lost, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I did read this last month, the first one, so I don't know why I'm so lost, but the thing that stood out to me most is the friend, the friend of our main male character, Kyungjun. And so I think his name is JinYang. He has these feelings for our main male character. He has not expressed them to him. And he is now being preyed upon by the creature that came up from hell with Cain. And something's going on with that character. We don't exactly know what, but he doesn't want to be attached to Cain anymore. And because of that, did y'all fucking hear that shit? Now I'm scared as hell. I'm gonna see if they pick that up. If it didn't, we're gonna cut it out. But if not, we're keeping it in so y'all can see how scared I am. Hearing shit all damn day now. Anyway, so where are we going? Where are we going with this? Yeah, okay. So yeah, he's trying to sabotage certain things for Cain. Cain is trying to get better. I can't remember if we talked about in the first volume what happened with Cain and why Cain is like really fucked up. Yeah, no, that's right. He got hit with a weapon that's a combination of demon and angel. That's right. That's right. And he's up here trying to look for some shit. And the person who came up with, I can't remember his name, but he's the one with the really, really long blonde hair. He's supposed to be helping Cain, but he's obviously sabotaging Cain. Cain doesn't quite know that, but it seems like everybody else around Cain knows that from hell. So that white-haired character scooped up JinYang. And he's been mentally fucking with him, pretending to be him, you know, making it real freaky weird. They're having sex. It's not really him. But the thing is like, he's basically using him for a door. So he's using, and the whole thing about the door thing is that like the demons have to use humans as doors to go in and out of hell. And some people, I mean, it seems like eventually you as a human will die because you can't keep up with like all of the energy, mana, or whatever that is being used to go back to hell and then come back out. So at least for Kyungjun, for now he's fine. We'll see if that changes at some point. But JinYang, oh my God, it's getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, this poor man. And then of course the fucking blonde-haired person is like getting obsessed with him and in love with him, and it's like changing his like demonness. It is fucking crazy. But yeah, it was interesting. I'm really interested in that though. I'm more interested in the side characters than I am the main characters, not in a bad way. I actually do like Cain and Kyungjun, but you know where that's going. I'm far more interested in them. I'm definitely wanting to get in that. I don't know when volume 3 comes out. As I've said many a time, I'm probably just going to unlock the rest of the episodes on any of the fucking things that it's on. It's on like almost every single app I have, so I just got to pick one. But yeah, I figured I'm going to end it now because we're going away for this weekend and I don't want to have too much to edit. I was starting to get sick of listening to myself, which that is very, very uncommon for me. I love the sound of my own voice. I know some people might think that that's a red flag, but I just love me so much. And the sound of my voice is soothing to me, except when I've been sitting in front of the computer having to edit the same thing over and over and over again. And then I get distracted because I'm looking at my phone. I didn't focus. It becomes too much. And then I become frustrated with myself. So that's why we're ending this now. But we're also going away for my birthday and I want to maybe film that too. Who knows? Like, we're going to do some really cool stuff. So I'm so excited. And maybe having like a shorter like vacation vlog might be nice. The month is almost over. I've got a few other things that I want to film, but I think that might be cute for February, especially because in March we have our family vacation and y'all know I love my family vacation. But anyway, thanks you guys for watching. I appreciate you so much. You'll obviously see another vlog soon. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on other social media. It's in the description box down below. And you have a good day. Goodbye.